Good afternoon, everybody. Hope y'all doing okay. I guess we ran into a little technical difficulties, but we're here. And let me bring up the co-host. What's up, Color?
What's up? We lose our guy again?
Yeah, we lost. Yeah, man. But anyway, let's talk about
new seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor. We're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Hey, before we bring in our good hosties in the back, you know how we do it every Saturday morning, man. On the weekend, it's that, you know what I do on every Saturday morning? That's right, W Energy drink. I got the Calio cream here. Fruit punch is coming soon. And I tell you what, Backroom Collections, fine art work, visors for your mini helmets. Both of them could be, you get a 10% discount if you use the hashtag code TFTG. And without being out the way, check out the lineup we have. We got El Capitan coming at nighttime, Ali and Color coming in the morning. Don't forget Club, Exhale tonight. I got my booze ready. Last week it was a blur, but it was a good time. Either way, you got myself, Lewis, with Crypto coming in the evenings with drive times and smoke lounges. You got Top TMI Tuesdays, and don't forget, at any time at 3:00 in the morning, we'll hit you with some insomnia with me and Crypto, the currency connection, baby. So anyway, let's bring up the wonderful host. I love his team on Sundays, not so much on Saturdays. So here we go. What's up, KP? Damn, he disappeared again. Was it something I said?
I don't know. It sounds like Comcast maintenance or something, bro.
Well, let's give some shout outs while we wait, man. We got Aquavision in the building. John Featherland, Newfoundland. Mr. Pope, best member of the Wolfpack. He's the MVP of the Wolfpack. You got Flipside Fishing in the building. You know, we got the resident Dolphin fans.
I know Mr.
Michael
Polk
K.
hates being called Wolfpack, but he's gonna end up being the alpha wolf one day.
What's going on, my man? That's El Capitan in the building. Of course, we're holding that down. Kevin Lee, Trucker Sean, and then of course Facebook user. Hey, we're back on Facebook. That's what's up.
And no drinking.
No problem.
By the way, Michael K., you might want to put a leash on your boy Josh Allen as the next Carson Wentz.
Oh, Dios mío.
Man's arguing with me about Tua as if he wants to make a trade for Tua or something. I thought I was arguing with a Tua-neer. It turned out to be a Buffalo fan, man. Y'all let me blow that energy? Thanks. Appreciate it. Fellow Finn fans.
It says that in the name. Josh Allen is an XL-way.
I know, but I couldn't see it on my phone. I was on my phone, and I'm like blind. I was like half asleep and blind.
Hey, there you go. Hey, KP, what's going on? You got that Buffalo internet, I see. Yeah, he's got Buffalo internet. I think he's in Buffalo right now.
Yeah. The bison got your tongue?
Hold on. Uh-oh.
We'll get it worked out. Okay, he'll be here eventually.
I just got this announcement. Buffalo still has 0 Super Bowl wins. Okay.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. My internet is bugging the F out right now.
Did you check your TCP IP settings? Enable cookies? You want this dog?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a full modem / router / everything rebooted is in order.
I don't know. Hey, my internet, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but
yeah, I can hear you.
Apparently the sabotage is in.
Yeah.
The Twitter thugs have sabotaged TFTG.
I think it's Miss Finn's. I think she don't want you to get your fantasy talk
I don't know
out, bro.
what's going on right now, guys. But the internet is.
Oh, it's definitely dropping packets for sure.
Show start time.
It's definitely dropping packets, KP.
Lord. Okay.
Hey, listen. We're so classy at the Finn's tailgate that I'm gonna drink my W Energy drink out of a wine glass.
There you go. Yeah, don't worry, KP. It'll clear up eventually. We got all day for this show, man. And if not, we'll provide comic relief in the meantime. What's up, Aqua? Always got to say hi to Aqua. He never fails.
Can you put the link to your fantasy leagues? Is there any way I could get the link to his fantasy league so I could see?
Yeah. If you go, are you already? Did you you got an ESPN account yourself?
I was there last time. I think he has to share it so I could.
Okay, got you.
Or he put the link in the private chat last time. So next time he comes in the private chat, if he puts the link, I'll be able to bring up so we could see what's the latest and greatest. Oh man.
In the meantime, everybody, public service announcement from TFTG. Just love your neighbor.
Yes.
And if you don't love your neighbor, just fake it. Makes the world a better place.
Oh man, we got a Scummy sighting. What's going on, Scummy? How you doing, brother?
All right. Scummy's like, somebody say comic relief? Have they cut Tua yet? No, not yet. It might happen after this coming up game, though, Scummy. I think we got a real shot of cutting Tua after this one, man. Oh, now they're going to clip me. Thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
These boys over at TFTG calling for cutting Tua this morning. You believe it?
Hey, what's going on, El Capitan?
What's up, man? I hope KP's listening, but he's going through the typical creator problematic deal right now. Remember Shake? Remember Color? When you start going from being an audience member to a creator, your internet's like, oh, you want to do stuff. You want to be somebody. Well, I don't think so. It'll test your patience.
Don't pay that.
You have to go through at least 5 phone calls with the cable company to get your shit right.
That's exactly right. So, KP, a word of advice, you're going to have to reach out to your internet company and say, yo, what the hell? And they're going to go, well, I got this new thing to sell you. And then you're going to have to deal with whatever type of bullshit they're going to pull on you. That's just how it goes. So, it's just the facts, bro. And I don't care if you're doing it only on a cell phone either. They don't care.
Yeah, I mean, he was
like,
just
right,
he was poised and ready to do his own intro and everything this morning, bro.
And speaking of which,
so
man,
you guys had his thing on and everything.
Well, I mean, he was gonna like do the rundown, like, you know, introduce himself and all that, like proper intro. You know what I mean? As a show. Instead of, you know, us catching them up like we have been, because, you know, it takes time to get all in the flow of that.
And by the way, I actually met Scummy the other day. And,
did you?
We went
in person?
Yeah, we went bowling. See. Yeah, that's me and Scummy.
Who was it that was saying that his mask was a William Shatner mask turned inside out?
Yeah, it's a William Shatner. Yeah,
I had no idea, man. It does kind of look like him, though. It looks like the negative version of William Shatner. Bizarro Shatner. Look, see, even El Capitan's getting issues now. Or is that me? Am I cutting out?
Yeah. Hey, I got it on my phone.
There you go.
I don't know what's going on. It just everything just went haywire. I think it's those Twitter thugs. They targeted the Finn's tailgate for calling them out so strongly yesterday.
Yep, they called up your cable company and they're like, "Yo, this guy's a Tua hater, man. Hit his internet."
Exactly, man.
Hey, by the way, Scummy verifying. See, I bowled a good game.
Yeah, well, good morning, fellas. How's everybody?
Good morning, Corey. How you doing, man?
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I guess this is a kumbaya moment, or one is needed in the Dolphins community. You know, when it comes to all the craziness going on Twitter and the social networks and stuff.
Hey, by the way, can you post a link, KP, in the private chat so I can bring up the the league?
Yeah, Kumbaya is definitely needed, KP, aka a case of Bud Light.
Yeah, and maybe some wacky tobacco, you know, and rolled up on a. But hey, we'll leave that subject alone. But yeah, I'm on my phone right now, man, until my computer comes back. I did a full reboot on that.
It's not gonna come back, buddy. It'll come back. It'll keep dropping. It's the internet. It now knows that you're creating, and so you're gonna have to. This is part of it, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of internet you got. You can have the most expensive or using a hotspot off your phone. It doesn't matter. They're gonna make you go through the tedious part of calling them, testing your systems, redoing whatever's got to get done, and then you'll be good.
Yeah, MI6 and the CIA need to have clear files, so they've got.
That's right. They're like, this guy's trying to be something. I need to have the NSA link put up on there so we can watch them and make sure that if I need to cancel them and their kids and their kids' kids in the future, I'll have everything I need.
You had to say
destroy them.
NSA, didn't you? Now we're going to be all canceled because you had to say NSA.
I don't care, Teller. I don't care. I'm here for the good one. I'm here
Don't
for the
worry,
real
you
flag.
can wait 50 years to hear the recordings after the Freedom of Information Act. After we're long gone.
Yeah,
then you can get your fantasy football predictions. Yeah.
It'll be when they're trotting us up there on trial to hang us out to dry. You said this, and this isn't okay to say anymore.
I know. He actually predicted the Dolphins were going to win the Super Bowl. God damn it.
Yep.
Hang him. Although I have to stick to my prediction. I got 9-8 this year, but, I know it's not the most popular take. Hopefully I won't get trolled mercilessly. And,
not until we get our
sacrifice.
10th win. That's when you'll get trolled. When we get our 10th win,
then I'll have to worry about getting doxxed and spread all over the internet. And
you believe this guy called for 9 wins?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's freaking insane.
Hey,
but guys, I'm just gonna roll with the phone.
Listen, if we have more than 9 wins, that'll be the best shit. Yeah, you'll be like, damn, that's the best time I've ever been wrong.
Exactly. I win when I lose. That's what exactly. Set your sights low, and then you can never be disappointed.
Well, that's why I bet against the Dolphins because if we win, I'm happy. If we lose, I'm rich. Yeah. Take your choice.
But yeah, no,
playing the odds there, buddy.
Sincerely, apologies to all the fantasy football listeners who are
Listen,
viewers.
I know the haters aren't happy. Sorry, KP.
Oh no problem, no problem. Just apologizing to everybody out there in the chat. Anybody who's out there viewing and listening. The technical issues just came like a hurricane tech, right at 11 a.m. We were chopping up backstage, and then all of a sudden, Armageddon descended. And it's a bright, sunny day out here in South Florida, so I don't understand what's going on with that.
It is quite a nice day.
KP, it's exactly what I said. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree.
I had to change internet providers 4 times in the last 2 years. And then fiber optic, I got a 60-foot cable running directly to the freaking thing right now because that's what I need.
Yeah.
So it ain't gonna play. It's gonna test you again and again and again. And as soon as you got it figured out, you'll be good for about 6-8 months, and then the same thing will happen. You'll be going live, and the whole deal will crash. You could reboot that computer, you could redo your internet, and that'll work for that time. But it's just part of it. I don't understand it. It's something a lot of people don't talk about in the creator world, but there is without a doubt a conspiracy happening when it comes to the internet and the bandwidth and all that stuff.
Yeah. My wife works from home, so we have a souped up, fiber optic and all that kind of stuff. We got the best package for her to be able to work at home, and so we usually have no problems. But
now that you say that, Kahari, that actually is a lot of information for my troubleshooting calculus, bro. That really, seriously, is there some automated system on one of her computers that tries to contact the home office without her knowing it, maybe? Because if it fires up that VPN, it could very well be making you lose your local network because
it's been smooth the first 2 shows, but and she works Monday through Friday, so typically it's
I'm just wondering if there's some kind of system, if there's some kind of system in her computer software,
automated
that's trying to contact the home office on the weekend.
Doing updates and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to ask her, but
because a lot of times when you fire up a VPN, it actually closes your local network, and the other computers that aren't in that VPN won't have internet access. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what I noticed is when we came on, I had everything set, with the screens and everything. I had my things I want to talk about, everything, and then I went to eat breakfast. And then when I came back, I got notification. Yeah, I got notification that updates needed to happen and all this and that, and and then we
never went to eat breakfast, bro.
So you got comfortable. That'll learn you.
Yeah, exactly. Had the worst possible breakfast, by the way.
Should have had the Benedict, man.
Yeah.
First of all, eggs Benedict is my go-to. Just to say, if I go to a fucking breakfast joint, I'm trying their eggs Benedict. If it ain't good, I'll never come back.
Yeah, I'm too old for this, but I had leftover pizza, cinnamon sticks, and Doritos.
Oh my God, KP! What are you in college?
Sounds like what I had for dinner last night.
Hey, are you missing?
I'm ashamed of myself, man.
Hey,
KP's internet is the only thing going down.
Are you missing his ramen noodles? Are you missing his ramen noodles?
Ramen noodles, yeah.
Right.
Your internet ain't the only thing that's going to be going down today.
Oh yeah, I got to hit the gym later for sure. That's for sure. I had to drink some water or something. But yeah, hey, let's get the fantasy football talk going. I guess I'll have to do it through the phone.
That's all right.
Just a couple of things, guys. With the league.
Hold on, before you do me a favor. Text me the link, and I'll see if I could try to get it in that way.
Okay, I'll try to do that. My computer's actually still updating. This is the longest update of all time. I don't know what the hell's going on, but anyway, a couple of things, guys. It's only week 2 of the NFL football season, right? So I know you all tuned in for fantasy football tips, advice, discussion, etc. So let's just jump into that. I got 2 things today we want to talk about. Number 1, the bounce back factor. It's only week 2, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of team managers are going to make a huge mistake in giving up on a guy they counted on. That's going to end up producing points throughout the season, but may not have performed in week 1. If you look at that whole New York Giants roster, for instance, that team, by all accounts, has its a potential arrow pointing up, right? You got receivers, you got Darren Waller.
You can't point any more down, KP.
Exactly.
You can't point any more down.
So if you're holding on to any of those assets, be patient. Deal with the pain of week 1, but get ready for the bounce. Get ready for the bounce back in the coming weeks, okay?
By the way, Capitan, it actually could point further down. They got the Cardinals this week.
Exactly. That should be the perfect medicine for this team, I look for Saquon Barkley to go off this week. So if you got him in your lineup, ride that horse to a week 2 victory, unless you face my team, of course, because, I got the medicine for that. But the bounce back factor. Also, look at KC. You got to understand that KC are the champion, the Super Bowl champions are going to want to put a 1 in that victory. They don't want to go 0-2, right? And then there are a whole host of other teams that I had lined up in my notes. I don't have them in front of me now. That you could look for some bounce back performances. And then the second thing, and then we can just open up. The second thing is this issue of paralysis by analysis, right? In our league, there are tons of trades ready to happen, right? But we got too many people overthinking, coveting, and just a little bit afraid of making the big move. Make the trade, dude. Make the trade. If you're holding on to 3 or 4 quarterbacks on your roster, you're in the catbird seat. You're in the prize position, man. You have all the leverage.
Especially if you're trading with crypto.
Keep the avenues of communication open, right? Even if you don't like the offer that was sent to you, counter it. Keep it going back and forth. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 counter, discussions before you finalize a deal. Don't give up. Keep on talking and make that deal happen. The blockbusters are there. We got a 20-team league. I mean, there's no help coming from the bench. I mean, if you look at the free agents out there in our league, that the cupboards are bare. So you're gonna have to make a trade. You're gonna have to talk to somebody and make it happen, folks. It's possible. Just be willing to take a hard look at your roster, see who your essentials are, see who you're willing to cut, and then go ahead and make it happen. I know that I may have may have argued against my first
point of advice, right? Which is to hold on and wait for the bounce back. But still, if there's a deal to be made, if you're overstocked in one position, you have leverage to make a deal. Explore making a deal. Open up those avenues of communication, and you'll see your team will be more well-rounded and ready to handle the rigors of the fantasy football season. So, yeah, those are the only two talking points I had. I had a couple more, but, I can't access my notes right now. I did want to go through the week 2 schedule to look at games that you could, you might pick or expect to be, high scoring or games versus blowout games, and how you want to handle, either scenario. But without my computer, I'm just flying naked here. So, anybody want to jump in? What do you think about
I would give a piece of advice. If you're not in this league with players that have gone down, you need to take who's their backup and coming up. Look no further than J.K. Dobbins, who went down with injury, which I was able to snag the backup running back who's going to get more work and hopefully be – listen, don't forget, just like the Niners, the Ravens go through running backs like a mofo too. So if you got a backfield that consists of any of those guys that are even down as the 3s and 4s, hang on to them because they're sleepers later in the season.
Mm-hmm. Who'd you get? Did you get Gus Edwards or did you get the other guy, Justice Hill?
I got Justice Hill.
Yeah, I picked up Melvin Gordon on a spec. For that factor exactly, Cap. That they, the running back attrition rate is so high on Baltimore that eventually a veteran like Melvin Gordon, I think, is going to get an opportunity, and hopefully he'll do well.
By the way,
Justice is projected for 10 points.
That analysis paralysis will also destroy an up-and-coming YouTuber, by the way.
It's very true. Very true. Yeah, man.
Real thing.
Yeah,
I let it fly,
team,
right, Color?
Mm-hmm.
Let it fly.
Pick a guy and let it fly. That's it.
My team in the league last week took an absolute shellacking. I lost by 20 points.
Right.
I didn't even break 100. I didn't even break 90. But I had Joe Burrow on my fucking lineup. I had a couple of other people that just Drake London, which now in retrospect, I'm like, what was I thinking? I knew that the fucking Atlanta Falcons were going to be a team that was going to be a run-first team. And that quarterback they had there, I don't have enough answers on him in the passing game to even draft a guy like Drake London. Now, I still think he'll get points, but I'm glad I picked up Boyd because I'm rotating him into my lineup this week and taking Drake London now.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up Cincinnati. That was the third team that I had in my notes to look for a bounce back this week. I mean, they lost the division a matchup against the Browns in week 1, and they have a second division must-win game in week 2 against the Baltimore Ravens. So you could expect Joe Burrow and that offense to be firing on full cylinders this week, or at least go all out. Pedal to the metal. They must get a division win, or else they're in trouble.
Don't let it change your mind if you think that they're gonna lose that game, because what Kahari's saying is real. Like they need a win, which means they're gonna play. They're gonna play like they need a win. So even if they lose, they're still gonna put up some numbers this week, likely.
Yeah, the calculus on your fantasy suggestions should never come whether or not that team wins or loses. It should come to what position group they're going to lean on to get the win. That's what you need to go at.
How are they going to get points? Exactly.
That's why I'm not tripping about Joe Burrow, because I know there ain't. I mean, listen, unless he gets hurt, he's gonna push this ball down the field, and it's why I've called up from my bench Tyler Boyd, because I expect him in my flex to be the recipient of some of that fucking pushing downfield.
A perfect example would be the championship that I won a couple years back with Tannehill. Throughout the season, you can count on jump time from Tannehill.
Yeah, for example, especially in a game they're going to lose. Tannehill's better to play in a losing game because he'll be in the fourth quarter.
And he'll still get you your 30 points. You know what I mean?
And Dak Prescott's the same way.
Dak Prescott totally the same way. You're absolutely right, Shay. Great. Dak Prescott will chew up some points
You can also have a bad team with a bad quarterback that does nothing but pass the ball, and as such, that quarterback is still going to get numbers.
Yep.
You know, if they ain't running the ball all day, you know.
Yep. Well, it's hard now. There's no quarterbacks in this league. Literally zero.
True.
So they're.
But let's say if you're
rotating.
facing a bye, and your backup quarterback is some kind of inferior quarterback, well, that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to get numbers. Somebody has to take the snap and throw the ball. You know.
Well, I see as this year goes on, people are going to drop their backup quarterbacks down after they need them for their bye week for their starting quarterback. Then they're going to start dropping these people. So probably like by week 8, there's going to be a couple of decent quarterbacks that are on the waiver wire in this league. So I'm hoping anyhow, because I don't really have a good backup quarterback.
You hear that, Crypto? There's your chance.
Yeah. But it is in the nitty gritty. You're looking at guys that either haven't put input in a big way as far as impact in years prior, or are young guys that you just don't have the data on, and you're risking it on these guys because the league is so hard to pick when you have 20 people like that. It was a difficult draft. I struggled. I'm not gonna lie. I took way too many chances. I'm looking up and down my roster. I'm like, damn, dude, I am playing with I need stupid things to happen to be successful. But in the length of a season, you'll be good.
I'm sure.
Looks like you drew Flava J this week. El Capitan.
Yeah, Flava J's
already talking smack in
a
the
goner.
chat.
I see he's got Pollard and Jacobs. That's fine. I'm not sweating it none. I'm really not. I think.
What do the projections look like on that
it's
match?
51-49. He's got 51%, so it's closer than he'd like it to be. So,
now you got
little
something going
shifty
for you with
moves
the
by El
Burrow.
Capitan, and it'll change those projections.
Yeah, Burrow on the bounce back is definitely a play this week. But Cap, going back to what you just said about how you felt during the draft, I'm sure if you polled all the managers, all 20, 18 out of the 20 probably felt the same way. I know for damn sure I did. Every player I coveted and wanted seemed to get drafted 2 or 3 spots ahead of me, and it's going to happen in a fantasy league this deep. So I felt like I rolled the dice on just about every pick beyond my first. So, and I would have done things totally different. If we would have redrafted again, I might not have one player on my team again in the same position drafting all over again. So it is what it is. Fantasy football isn't just about the draft, as we all know. It's also about, how you're going to manage your team going forward. And that's why I want to encourage everybody to just explore the possibilities on that. On that trade, on that trade,
Kahari. I mean, I went 8-5 that season that I won the chip, and it was all just pulling rabbits out of my hat, managing throughout the season to get there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, Shake, I tried to send the link. I don't know if that's the right one, or can you access the league through it?
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Is it okay? Oh, here it is in the private chat.
Yeah,
right, I got you.
Yeah, I did want to take a look at the standings. That graph, that interactive graph, that week-to-week graph that we were all trying to figure out for the last week or so, has gotten some interesting updates recently. And I guess you account for the main thing, which is the wins or the losses. So how you rank the teams with wins versus the teams right now that are on 1 is also very interesting with the those red and green lines. So I wanted to throw that up, and then maybe we can go through the this week's matchups. Like Cap, you got Flavor J, right? So we could take a look at that first, and then just run through the other 9 matchups.
All right.
And then,
I mean, I'm gonna beat Flavor J this week. I don't really have a matchup with him. He doesn't stand a chance. Bounce back week for El Capitan and his team. This is where Burrow even makes Boyd have gaudy numbers. And the only thing I'm worried about is last time I checked, my RB2, which is Connor from whatchamacallit, Arizona. I'm worried about him. He was still questionable the last time I saw, but I know they're going to give him a lot of the work because they don't have Murray in there. And when they change it out and get Murray in there, I'm gonna then bring Zach Ertz up from the bench in my tight end room because I've been holding on to him, waiting for that day because he uses the shit out of him. But I did see what Dan Campbell said about Jahmyr Gibbs in that this year he's going to give him more work, or this week he's going to give him more work that he expects a heavier workload. So I'm hoping that Jahmyr Gibbs really shines because I thought, I mean, the guy just looks faster. I don't even remember. I'm not going to lie, but I know that just seeing him with the ball in his hands moving around, that kid is going to he's gonna make my season. That Jahmyr
I
Gibbs.
think he's the guy. He's the running back of that draft for sure.
I think so too.
Drafted at the 12th spot, it's just a matter of when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be used and used heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to be, that talked about running back as offensive rookie of the year.
I could see that.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so, okay, I'm still on my phone, so I cannot see exactly what you're showing us. Is this the transaction?
Yeah, actually, this is El Capitan's team versus Flavor J's team. We got Joe Burrow, Jahmyr
Call
Gibbs.
out the lineup then.
All right, we got Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Conner, Jason Smith, the wide receiver from Seattle.
Yeah,
from Seattle. Where's he from?
Yeah, Seattle. Yeah.
Okay, and then we got Tyler Boyd, Sam Laporta, Justice Hill, T.J. Edwards, Devontae Campbell.
Yep, another linebacker.
And you got Colts defense with the kicker, Evan McPherson is your kicker. And then we got Flavor J's
from the
lineup
Bengals.
with Geno Smith, Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, George Kittle, Odell Beckham Jr., Myles Garrett, Deshaun Elliott, and the Jaguars defense with you're losing this one with Jason Sanders.
Listen, I'm just being real. His lineup is an amazing lineup. I mean, outside of Geno Smith, which I expect to have a down year, and Jason Sanders is hit or miss, but everywhere else, he is chock full with talent that people would be happy to have on their roster. I mean, the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight. I mean, he's got it all. Even fucking Myles Garrett is his defensive guy. So, I mean, he does have a great roster. There's no lying.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all guys they're all kind of those big name guys that, as Kahari said, are going to want to have a bounce back performance this week after being lackluster last week. Well,
Myles Garrett wasn't lackluster, but yes.
I think Odell Beckham was probably lackluster. We didn't hear much out of him last week. A couple of the others, but I mean, these are all types of guys that are going to want to get their name back in people's mouths, with on the second week of the year. So it could turn out to be a pretty formidable lineup. As far as that goes, on your end, Capitan, I'd question the Colts defense, but I guess that's all you had to do.
No way, bro. I got the Commanders on my bench.
Right on.
But I'm telling you right now, the Colts defense is that team right now. That defense that is rated low at the beginning of the year will be rated high as hell come the end of the year. Mark my words. The Colts are leaning on their defense and their running quarterback all season. That's their team this year. That's how they're going to win games.
All right.
And the Colts got a favorable matchup this week too. I think they're playing. This is a game they can win. They're playing against Tampa Bay. You can run all day on that defense, so you can expect them to rack up some good numbers on the ground this week. I don't know if it's Richardson. I don't know because they really have no answer at the running back position right now.
They really don't.
They just brought up Zach Moss. I think somebody picked him up in our league, and he's probably going to get the start. You know,
Zach Moss ain't gonna make it 3 weeks, dude. That guy is he's terrible. If they're gonna give him the workload, he's gonna fall in pieces.
Yeah, he's a bit he's a little bit too small for the position.
And he's what, 29, 28 now? And telling you, I just don't see how he's gonna be the same guy that he has been as the change of pace back in Buffalo. That guy's gone.
Right. Yeah.
That guy's gone, bro. That guy's gone. If they're gonna give him a healthy workload, he's gonna fall to pieces.
And they're looking for answers, being that the guy they gave the first shot to, the guy that I picked up, had 2 fumbles and no yards last week. So he shit the bed pretty much. And so, yeah, they're looking for answers. But still, like you said, with the defense and their run-first approach, they're going to look to control the clock. I mean, it's not – I wouldn't put that on the blowout radar at all, or the big points game all over the place. But if you're leaning on who's going to win and who's going to dominate the course of action, it'll probably be that Indianapolis team. So the Indianapolis defense is a good play. And then whoever gets those rushing yards is a good play in that matchup.
Sorry about that. My freaking dogs unplugged my computer.
Oh, I thought the internet guys got you. The Twitter thugs got you too, Shake.
No, my dogs got me.
Okay. Oh, man.
I have a piece of breakfast from lunch I had last night. My dog was trying to get to it and freaking unplugged my computer.
Yeah, Shake, let's go through some of those other matchups. You see McGritty's versus my team, the Demon Dolphins. We can start there and then go.
Okay.
And then go down the list if you don't mind.
Okay, of course. McGritty, where's McGritty? Okay,
McGritty's versus the Demon Dolphins. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's look at the matchup.
Yeah, just a quick look, like 1 or 2 minutes. We'll go through each team, pick a winner.
Are you on your computer now? Are you on your computer now, or
we can open it up for anybody who wants to call it? Yeah, I'm on my computer.
Okay, cool. So you can see it better now?
And hopefully it stays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Thanks.
No problem.
All right. So yeah, in this matchup, hold on one second. Let me catch up to you. Okay. Yeah, here we have McGreedy's versus the eventual league champion, the Demon Dolphins. Heard they got a great manager, by the way, but who's talking? But yeah, you have the young gun Trevor Lawrence versus Patrick Mahomes. Again, Patrick Mahomes is going to go all out to get that dub, and so you can look on him to press on the gas this game. Then in the running back matchup, you got Rashad White and Travis Etienne, both 2 up-and-coming running backs. And look at the projections for both of those guys, 22 points apiece. So it looks like the experts also are predicting major upside for Etienne and White versus 2 of the older vets in the league, Elliott and Edwards. So I think Demon Dolphins definitely has the advantage in the running back room here. If McGritty's has a chance, it will lie in Stephon Diggs and that Kirk Lawrence connection, as they look like they may have a small advantage in the wide receiver room. Tight ends, you saw Goddard put up 8 points below his projected 9.8. Dalton Kincaid is projected for 8. So we'll see what they do against Vegas, which has been notoriously weak on defense. Then you've got in the flex position, at least right now, you got Elijah Moore, gadget weapon they're trying out in Cleveland, came from the Jets, versus Christian Watson in Green Bay, who is coming off of a hamstring injury, and this will be his first game, although he promises to be Jordan Love's number 1 target. So that might be a sleeper difference maker here in this matchup. As far as defensive players, they're going with 2 D linemen. DeForest Buckner, who was outstanding last week, put up more than 20 points from a defensive player position. And then the young sprite defensive end Josh Allen versus Demon Dolphins, who's going to take the more conventional approach with the linebackers, looking for volume tackles and plays, Kazir White and Azeez Al-Shir. You got the Broncos for the Patriots, and then you got the kickers. Who cares? All right, let's go to the next matchup. Shay.
Hey, by the way, you got the best Josh Allen in the NFL right now. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You don't have the spoiled concussion-prone one.
All right, which one? What's the next one? I guess we're going to Newfoundland versus.
Yeah, we can go there. Yeah, you choose the order. You choose the order.
We'll just work our way up. That'll be the best course of action.
Okay, no doubt. So yeah, we have Newfoundland here versus Moss Canadian Finns, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Demon Dolphins last week, so Moss is gonna try to get the bounce back this week against Newfoundland. But Newfoundland is currently the 3rd ranked team in the league, so the ESPN fantasy gods really have taken a liking to Mr. CH's team. And let's take a quick look at the matchup. At the quarterback position, you got Dak Prescott, the ultimate wild card. He can give you 404 touchdowns, or he can give you 104 interceptions. Who knows what you're going to get? Versus Mac Jones, who has his offensive coordinator. But, hey, they're going up against a team you might have heard of called the Miami Dolphins, who are going to, if you heard that Fangio press conference, they might have some surprises in the store for Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the running back room, you got Damian Pierce and Tyjae Spears, 2 of the younger backs in the league with a lot of promise. But Tyjae Spears is backing up the great one, Derrick Henry in Tennessee, versus Cam Akers, a guy I got a question mark around as far as his love for the game, honestly. And we can go into that later. And then somebody who I've never heard of, Elijah Dotson. Good luck there, buddy, Newfoundland. I don't know how you're ranked 3rd with that guy starting for you. But anyway, we'll leave that one alone. Wide receiver room, you got Chris Olave and Gabe Davis versus the studs, Justin Jefferson and Devonta Smith, who both have already played and both done the damn thing. Moss has put up 51 points already from his wide receiver room. You can't ask for more than that. So Moss is looking really good right now. If we look at the tight ends, if Newfoundland's going to turn this thing around, he probably needs a big comeback game from Mark Andrews. This will be his first game of the NFL season. And as we know, he's been that quarterback in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's #1 target, his safety blanket, his go-to guy.
So do you have any advice? Do you have any advice for what he does about Eckler? Apparently, he's got Eckler.
Who?
Newfoundland.
Oh man!
Oh, he's got Eckler on the bench. Oh yeah. Well, he's got to monitor that injury status all the way up to kickoff. If I was him, because Eckler still has a chance to play, from what I understand. Maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong. So he may be a game time decision, and that might make all the difference when it comes to Newfoundland putting that second dub on the scorecard.
Yeah, because apparently he's got to match Swift's production.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Because Swift already went off this week. I guess his opponent has Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So even if Eckler plays quasi-injured, is he going to put up the numbers that he usually does? Is he going to put up Swift's numbers? You know what I mean? Should he look into – I mean, I don't know if there's moves to be made to do anything about it, but given the depth of the league. But, is there anything you might suggest on that, or just roll with it and hope you get lucky?
I mean, right now, ESPN is predicting that Eckler's not going to play. They got him projected as 0 points as of right now. So and from a conventional NFL standpoint, you got to look at, was it Staley, the coach out there? I know they're 0-1 and desperate for a win, but this is non-division, a game against Tennessee, and it is early in the season. So they probably won't play Eckler. They probably err on the side of caution, I should say. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he still plays, but it's not expected. It's definitely not expected.
Right, and they do have the ability to make up for it in their passing game if they're not facing our secondary, of course.
And apparently. Joshua Kelly put up 91 yards last week, so he's not a bad backup.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if is he still on the waiver?
No, I think somebody has him on their bench right now. So, yeah.
All right. Let me before we do, I'm gonna do a little something controversial real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this question. Being that the reason I'm bringing this up because I seen Devontae Smith. Is Devontae Smith you think Devontae Smith is just as dangerous, more dangerous, or less dangerous with Tyreek Hill on this team than Waddle?
I think he's less dangerous, honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah, I think what's happening over there in Philadelphia is that, everyone is trying to stop their run from the quarterback position and from their 3 or 4 running backs who they mix in. And that just leaves so many one-on-one opportunities outside. Whereas with us, that too high safety is something we're going to see all the time because of the threat that is a known quantity over here in Tyreek and then Waddle. So I think our receivers have to work a little harder to produce than those receivers in Philly.
And they're still producing. That's the awesomeness of it.
Exactly. The irrepressible decimals. We have the irrepressible decimals. They can't be held down. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing when you're looking at for a quick DFS tip. When you're looking at these players and you say, okay, well, DraftKings has the defense that they're going against ranked really high against running back production, let's say, for example, or wide receiver production, since that's what we're talking about. A guy like Tyreek Hill, he might be going up a defense that has an opponent, a ranking of like 3. And so that seems like a dangerous play. But remember, it's Tyreek Hill. The best players, they roll through any defense. So you can't always go by, oh, well, they're playing a really tough defense this week. Well, look at the player you're talking about. If you're talking about somebody like CMC or, these guys that are always constantly at the top of the list with 20 plus fantasy points per week, the reason they're able to get that average is because they're still producing when the projections say they're going against a defense that doesn't favor them.
Right. They're transcendent talents.
So you can't get analysis paralysis on looking at the opponent's rank for each player when you're in DFS. Sometimes you just still got to go with that player. It's Tyreek Hill, people. You know what I mean? So, for example,
it's Justin Jefferson, right? No matter who the opponent, you got
Austin Eckler is another one.
That upper tier of players are your everyday, and
it don't matter what their opponent's rank is, pretty much. I mean, they can still have down days, and maybe those tougher defenses might, regress them a little bit to the mean, but they're still performing. They're still going to get your average. They're still going to get the same production as a Christian Kirk, let's say, who's not yet up into that upper echelon of producers.
That's right.
And you might not even be considered one of the upper echelon players in the league, but you could still be producing 20 plus fantasy points. Austin Eckler is a great example. There are still people that just don't really know about Austin Eckler, that he's one of the elites. There's plenty of people. Oh, everybody will say he's great, above average, superstar. But Austin Eckler's production for the last 3 or 4 seasons has been consistently elite.
That's right. And so it's a big blow for Newfoundland to have lost that player going into his matchup. I don't know how you're going to pull that out, Newfoundland, but yeah.
That's also why I didn't jump off a cliff last week on our defense, Corey.
Exactly.
But I was more concerned about Kelly putting 97 on us than Eckler and what he did.
Right. That was more indicative of a problem that we need to fix. So absolutely.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, all right, we're on to our next matchup here with Team Latino and Miss Finn's team, the surprising My Skills Get Sexy. I don't know why I like saying that, but I gotta check. I gotta look at myself in the mirror, so I gotta check myself on it. Anyway, My Skills Get Sexy versus Team Latino. Let's take a look at what we got going on there. And that was just a joke, Twitter trolls. Okay, you can pull that up and use that on me after we have more than 9 wins. Okay, there it is. But anyway, let's take a look at the matchup here. And then again, we got an interesting quarterback matchup here. Brock Purdy, who was, by all accounts, just outstanding in his comeback performance in week 1. I mean, it wasn't a huge game, but he showed command. He showed that he can more than game manage that offense. So he's looking good. But then we've got the wild card, Anthony Richardson, against a Houston team that's there for the taking. So we'll see what this upcoming rookie, the surprising rookie, can do against that Houston team. It's probably one of his best opportunities of the year to put up big numbers. The running back comparison.
Real quick, Ari,
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
there any concern about Richardson with injury? I noticed he did go down for a minute last week at the very end of the game.
As of right now, no. He's scheduled to play, and a young, big, strong quarterback like that, you're gonna have to take him out on a stretcher at this stage in his career.
Okay. Just had to do diligence there.
Yeah, unlike our guy from in New York, right? Aaron Rodgers, who, man, what a tragedy. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that up front. I didn't want to roll him into that conversation about injuries with J.K. Dobbins. Just a catastrophic tremor for the New York Jets. What do they do? What does that mean for our division? In real football and in fantasy, it's going to have its ripple effects. So, what a huge blow. And, the NFL was bankrolled into promoting that whole savior to the Jets, the sexiest quarterback since Joe Namath in New York City, So I don't know how we're going to get over that one, but we'll see. I think it's our very own Ali who had Aaron Rodgers at the helm of his fantasy squad. So it'll be interesting to see what Ali's going to do without Rodgers, available for the rest of the season.
He's going to run the Wildcat, man.
He needs to pick up Ronnie Brown, man. Ronnie Brown and Ricky, and see what happens. But yeah, hey, looking at the matchup here, we got McKinnon and Warren versus Harris and Pacheco. Certainly, Miss Fins has the advantage with two running backs who are going to get the ball early and often in their matchups versus Latino, who's bringing two backups to the fight. And, you never should bring a knife to a gunfight. So not looking good, Team Latino. And that's the good manager, Andres Negron, good brother.
Unless that knife is knifing in for a couple touchdowns from the 7-yard line.
Actually, you can bring a dead knife to a gunfight if you're Deadpool.
That's right. That's right. Looking at the wide receiver matchup here, again, man, it looks like Miss Fins has an easy week ahead of her. All of her players are pretty much dominating the projections here. Her wide receiver core of Jamar Chase, I expect him to have a huge game against Baltimore this weekend. Amari Cooper, who was right on schedule last week, hooked up a couple times with Deshaun Watson, could have been even more productive, except for Watson underthrowing him several times in that game. So both of these wide receivers, I think, have the potential to really have a big game this week. Versus A.J. Brown, who already had his game with disappointing performance, only put up 6 fantasy points. And then Deontay Johnson, a receiver who's been in some fantasy discussions this week in the worst possible way about him giving way to the veteran from Penn State who's been all around the league. What's the name of that receiver? Robinson, I think it is. Robinson the second.
You mean Allen Robinson beat somebody out?
I think Allen Robinson is now starting over Deontay Johnson over in Pittsburgh. So
that's brutal.
Oh, actually, sorry. Deontay Johnson may be out with injury. As you see here, he's projected with 0 points. I need to check.
That's still brutal. I don't project Allen Robinson doing any favors for Pickett, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was their leading receiver last weekend. Now,
they'll do that every once in a while.
If Team Latino has the saving grace, it's the return of Travis Kelce, again in a win-hungry scenario for KC. You best believe that Mahomes is going to love having his main guy, his safety blanket back, Travis Kelce. So you can look for major production from Kelce in his first game of the season versus, sorry-ass Buffalo Bill Dawson Knox, who we expect to do nothing. But anyway, then you got Mike Wilson and interesting flex. 2 top-notch receivers, Mike Williams versus Mike Evans in the flex. And then you have the defensive players, Minka and Jalen versus Shaquille and Derwin. All right.
Normally I would favor Williams over Evans, but as soon as I do that, Evans will actually catch the ball and have a big game. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. Yeah, say what you want about Evans, man. He's been a pretty consistent top performer for the entirety of his career. I know having Brady at your quarterback for a bulk of it helps, but he's been
Well, you
even
know what the
productive
thing with
before.
him is? I think he's just unlucky with me. In other
Mhm.
words, because I don't watch Tampa Bay games regularly,
Right.
every once in a while when I do flip on a Tampa Bay game or when I had Sunday ticket and would see a couple of their, a few of their plays, it just so happens he's dropping the football right at the time I'm watching him. I don't know. Maybe he's just unlucky with me, you know?
And before we move on, Shake, take a quick look at the bench. Interesting decision there by Miss Finns. She actually sat Kirk Cousins in favor of Brock Purdy, so she's betting on Purdy to have the bigger week.
Oh, what a brilliant move, man.
And
Oh, that's gutsy.
yeah, but
But
Kirk
it's
Cousins
brilliant.
did.
It may turn out to work, man. Although
Yep.
Cousins was atop
Well,
the
Yeah,
DFS list the other night.
well,
Cousins
here's
out.
the thing. You got except for that one playoff win that the Rams had the year they went to the Super Bowl. For the most part, Mike Shanahan has owned McVay.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a gamble. I guess she's testing some things out. Hopefully, I mean, it may not. Who knows if it's going to cost her this week's matchup? It doesn't look like it. I think she's still the strong favor, but Kirk Cousins did outperform his 15.9 projection with 28.4 points. So, if she loses, she will regret making that decision. But we'll see. Let's go on to the next matchup, Shake, if you don't mind.
Shake.
I said Team Crypto.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Well, just pick Team Crypto to lose, and you will make some money, guys.
Well, you know what? I'll speak on Crypto's behalf, man. You just let me know what his lineup. We can fix this, man.
Hey, Crypto, I'm just messing with you, bro.
I'm pulling for the underdog. Crypto's definitely the underdog of the league. You know.
And hey, let's not give no favors to Roach. Roach is in the basement with Crypto. This is the bottom barrel matchup between the 16th and 17th team in the league right now.
Well, Kahari, look at last week's performance. I think Crypto actually held his own, and
yeah,
I don't think he got blown out.
No, not. He held his own, but he's got a big gaping hole at the quarterback position, which is until he solves that, he's going to be in big trouble.
Well, maybe Indianapolis's defense will solve it for him this week.
Yeah.
We'll All right, see. So here we go, real quick. Sean McVay against Kyle Shanahan is 3-9.
Wow.
3-9. Wow. Yeah. Hey, listen, I was thinking about that earlier. The Rams are the one team that gets under San Francisco's skin in the regular season. So that may play into your calculations in both DFS and maybe even who you see producing. That Stafford connection may be deadly with no-name receivers like Atwell, this guy Puka Nacua. Never heard of him until he put up a decent performance last week.
Well, as I pointed out, Atwell may be a sneaky good sleeper play going forward for a couple weeks because I caught a video of a breakdown from Colt McCoy, basically showing how 3 other teams now have now adopted some of Mike McDaniel's short motion stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he's already innovating to where guys like McVay and LaFleur and all these guys are already picking up on it.
Yeah.
And the guy that makes that happen, the guy that plays the fast, speedy receiver role, like our Tyreek, obviously he's not Tyreek, but the guy they're using to play that role last week was Atwell.
Right. And he could be
so if they start to incorporate a lot more of that stuff, you could see Atwell having a couple breakout games throughout the year. You know what I mean?
By the way, Tutu Atwell is a Miami native. His father is Tutu Atwell Sr., who was a stud in the 90s.
That's what I thought, man. His name's Tutu. I'm not listening to anybody anymore. When I was calling him Tutu Atwell, they were correcting me. And I think that they were thinking I was talking about Nacua, who does have a different name. I was talking about Atwell. Tutu
Yeah.
Atwell. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, this is Tutu Atwell Jr. who we're talking about on the Rams right now.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to his dad. I think he was
Mhm.
Miami High. He was a star quarterback and all-around player back in the 1990s.
Yep.
How do I know that? Because yours truly was some of his competition back in the day.
Right.
But I'll leave that alone. But anyway, let's get back to the fantasy. So yeah, Shake, are we looking at the crypto
Yes.
matchup right there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we are.
All right. Sorry about that, sir. Let's get to it then. Okay. Again, Team Crypto. I don't know how they plan to do it, but they got Kyle Trask as their starting quarterback versus an angry, beat up Daniel Jones, who you could look for the bounce back against Arizona this week. Again, I think Daniel Jones has a chance to bounce back nicely and regain some confidence in his matchup against a depleted Arizona defense. As far as the running backs go, though, here's where Crypto's team really kept him in the game last week. He had Breece Hall, who came back blazing, and James Cook, who looks like he's figured out how to be an effective small running back, not take too much punishment, maximize his yards. So, yeah, Crypto's scheduled to get 35 points of production from his running back room, which is a really big number, except that if you look on the other side, Roach's team with Dylan and Raheem Mostert are scheduled to do big things this week. Green Bay at Atlanta, and of course our very own Miami Dolphins at New England. Both backs combined are scheduled to put up more than 40 points in production. We'll see if Raheem Mostert even plays. There are some reports out that he is more injured than we'd like as our current RB1. Wide receiver room, I don't know what you guys think about this comparison. You got Calvin Ridley and T. Higgins, which is a really good a duo, versus Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb. I think Crypto's got the advantage there. I don't know what
Who's
you guys
got
think.
Adams and Lamb?
Crypto.
Oh yeah. I look
Yeah.
for big things out of Vegas this week, believe it or not, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you just look at Crypto's running backs and wide receivers, he's got a champion level squad. He's just got to figure out how to. So if he could get a quarterback, Team Crypto will be dangerous. All jokes aside.
Again, Indianapolis could very well help him out in that cause, because look, if Trask ends up coming in, he can't, he's going to put up something.
And earlier we were talking about forcing the trade, right? If I'm Team Crypto, with the wealth of receivers he has, because he's got Adam Thielen, Paris Campbell on the bench who can slot in, and then he's got Jerry Jeudy in the flex.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm him, I'm packaging one of those two receivers for somebody's extra quarterback.
I'd probably hold on to Jeudy. I'm still not convinced that Peyton and the Broncos don't get things right.
Right. But with Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb ahead of him, he really can afford to make that deal.
You're right.
But if we look at Roach's team, I think if they pull it out this week, it's going to be Darren Waller and Daniel Jones. That connection, that's going to take him to victory. And then Curtis Samuel. Oh, man, if I could tell you about the fantasy life of Curtis Samuel. He always looks good in the first 4 weeks of the season, and then he's on IR and disappears for the rest of the year. But anyway, if you're going to use Curtis Samuel, now's the time to do it. And I saw Roach pick him up this week. So I guess he's betting on that early production to continue. I know Samuel had a decent game last week. And then you've got the defensive matchup. Roach going with Bolton and Mosley versus Crypto's Josie Jewell and L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback, which is an interesting choice. Crypto puts forward the Buffalo Bills defense versus Vegas. And then we have Roach with the Panthers on Monday night against New Orleans. I don't know who has the advantage there. We'll see. All right. Thank you, Shake. We can go to the next matchup, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. You want a second?
Sorry, did you guys have any thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, you're going down, Roach.
Yeah.
Crypto's going to beat you without a quarterback.
Yeah, how are you going to live at that, Roach?
Oh yeah. We've done it we've got many wins without quarterback, so
yeah.
Telling you, watch out. If Crypto gets himself a quarterback, this whole league better watch out, man.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, guy. Hey, league. Let's collude.
And
Crypto.
he's got Buff. I hate to say that. I hate Buffalo.
He's got the Buffalo defense.
Yeah, thank you. I hate saying that name.
So I was going to say, league. Let's collude and ensure that Crypto doesn't make the playoffs. I know he thinks the league is rigged, so let's go ahead and rig it officially. Let's beat Crypto down, so that when he finally makes the trade, there's no chance of him making the playoffs. How about that, guys? You ready? Yeah, on 2. Run that play. Let's go. All right. Who do we have next? We're looking here at a week 2 matchup between the Red Ant Nation, DJ Chip Fresh. Guys, just let you know, you can check the manager of the Red Ant Nation, DJ Chip Fresh, every week, someplace in Miami, downtown, overtown, the beach. He's one of Miami's hottest DJs when it comes to Afro beats, reggae music. Linked up with one of the legendary sound systems from Miami, Metrics International. Big up to them. Versus Ball So Hard versus the Red Ants Nation. Let's take a look at the fantasy football matchup. And I don't know. What do you think? What do you think here, Shake?
Ball So Hard. Let me see. We got Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was right on par, right? He was projected for 27.3. He produced 27.6. He doesn't get any better than that.
And listen, if God damn it, what's him call it? If Ramondre, if New England has the same luck as the Chargers, he's gonna get a lot of points.
Yeah. I mean, do you think this Baltimore-Cincinnati game has the chance to be a shootout?
Baltimore-Cincinnati? I don't think so. I think
the division game.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I was thinking about that potential because with a resurgent Cincinnati needing this game and then this new offense that Lamar Jackson, those guys are running.
Oh man, they have negative 2 points. The Minnesota defense, but the 2 players. I'll tell you the 2 players I like from each team. I like Ramondre Stevenson, obviously, because he's going against I had to say kind of a bad run defense, and of course Tyler Lockett is pretty good. I like Tyler Lockett. He's I tell you what, he's like fine wine, man. He's aging very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd have to go contrary to Shake's take on Ramondre Stevenson. I'd probably fade a New England running back this week, just because I just don't see that happening twice in a row. And a lot of times, not only with our own team, but throughout the league over the years, whenever you see a defense get rolled like that in the running game, they usually bounce back with a pretty stout run defense the next week.
Especially when their defensive coordinator has a press conference taking the blame and putting it on his shoulders.
Right.
You best believe he's gearing them up for a rebound.
Now, you could say that leaves us vulnerable in the passing game, so look at New England's receivers, but you've still got McCorkle and their offense. And they're probably better than they were last year because of O'Brien and all that. But they're still, I don't know. They're just not, I don't know. We'll see. I don't foresee them, putting up huge numbers if you've got other receivers to choose from.
Well, here's the thing too. This is why even when Shula's was losing his fastball, if you will, during towards his slide end of the years, he was still making the playoffs because at the end of the day, his team was disciplined, still wasn't shooting themselves in the foot, and I think that plays a big part. I don't care what nobody says. Regardless of any of loss, if you look at any loss they had last year, they were just outperformed because of talent, but they still played disciplined. They still played fundamentally well. So that plays a big part in to why I don't sleep on the Patriots, because they still play fundamentally sound football.
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that, Jake.
Which means they always have a chance to win. once they stick to their fundamentals. But yeah, going back to this matchup here, if you look at Ball So Hard team, they've already gotten an outstanding performance from DeAndre Swift, who outperformed his 16 projection with 41. And then Jordan Addison, the rookie wide receiver 2 out of Minnesota, who outperformed his 11 with 17.
Came through for me on my DFS lineup.
Yeah, so Ball So Hard in the 9th position in the league is well poised to continue his streak. Except when I look at Red Ant's roster, man, his roster, aside from Hurts, hasn't played yet, and it is stock filled with contributors. Tyler Lockett, Deebo Samuel, wide receiver room, Dalvin Cook, and Stevenson, who we've been discussing. Interestingly enough, both teams have the flex position with injured players not scheduled to play, projected to score 0 points each. So we'll see if a change there before Sunday's kickoffs might prove decisive. But yeah, good matchup here. I'm struggling to see who might win this matchup this week. If we look at the bench real quick, Treylon Burks, Tyler Algier on the Red Ant bench, Matthew Stafford as well, Van Jefferson. So he's got
imagine we'd probably be looking to see him put Algiers in the flex, maybe.
Flex. Yeah, he's got some options for the flex. And on the other side, you got Kadarius Toney. Not after that week 1 performance. He's got Chuba Howard projected to produce this week at 11.1. So something might be going on in the Carolina backfield with Hubbard scheduled to get so much play. And Joshua Palmer, I guess. Braxton Berrios, another possibility.
Oh, Josh Palmer could eat this week because if they're not able to use Eckler in the same capacity, Herbert is known to spread it between all 3 of his receivers equally. So,
very true, very true. And Palmer's definitely in the mix there on the Chargers.
I know two ears don't like to hear that take, but the fact of it is, on the production list that I did last year, Herbert had 3 receivers. They were all pretty low down the ranks, but they were all 3 there. Like you had Allen at 25th, Williams at 27th, and Palmer at 35th out of the 42 receivers that got over 60 receptions last year. So he does spread it to Palmer every once in a while.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about fantasy football in general. It forces you to take a long, hard look at the entire league and be as objective as possible. If you're going to be successful, you have to take that objective approach and then play the best guy on a week in, week out basis. So, that's why I enjoy it. And hopefully that's why you're here listening and you enjoy it too. All right, Shake, if we could go to the next one if you're ready.
Okay, sure. All right, scoreboard. And the next one is, which one is the next one again?
I think it's Team
Team T. Here we go. I got it. Flip side fishing.
Yeah.
And we'll look at this matchup real quick.
And yeah, I think we got Flip in the chat, or he was there earlier. What's up, Flip? Mm-hmm. Flip's been a long time. He's a super fan of the Dolphins, man. He's a supporter of everybody's platforms. So big up to you, Flip side, man.
Hey, by the way, real quickly. Are you also? Do you have the page pulled up as well?
I do. Yes.
Okay. What you do is look at the bottom of the of your settings. You see present. Click that present sign.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now that you're at your computer, you'll be able to control it. We just got to add it to the stream for you.
Yeah, and that makes it so much easier for everybody.
Oh, okay.
So
present and share screen.
Yeah, share screen.
Okay.
And then it'll come up. It'll show up in back like it's another guest, and then we just pull it up into the stream.
And that way you can control it.
Like you've still got control of the window, right?
Here you go.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, thanks, Shake. Thanks, Color. All right, so here we're looking here at the team stream versus Flipside Fishing. Both teams had a victory in their week 1 contest. So we got the 2nd-ranked team going against Flipside 7th-ranked team. And let's take a quick look, see what happens here. Flip, if you want to comment on, you can come in a little while and tell us what you're thinking. Interesting quarterback matchup. Hopefully it won't inspire any death threats or doxing or any of the crazy stuff we've seen happening in the Twitter community most recently. But we have Tua versus Deshaun Watson. If you recall, 2 years ago, created a whole bunch of controversy in our community. So now Tua's going to be going up against a stout New England defense.
Bill Belichick defense, yep.
And Deshaun Watson against a Pittsburgh who notoriously starts season slow, but then are factors by the end of the season. So can Deshaun Watson continue to build up momentum after his week 1 victory against Cincinnati with another division performance against Pittsburgh? We'll see. As far as the running back matchup goes, we got Saquon Barkley and Zamir Wright, who's worked himself up into a backup role in Vegas, versus Bijan Robinson and a disappointing showing by Khalil Herbert, who I was pretty high on coming up into the season. So I think Flip definitely has the advantage here in the running back room with the combined efforts of Robinson and Herbert. But then you got that hungry Barkley who was embarrassed in week 1. Can he single-handedly carry that running back room to victory? We'll see. Wide receiver room, we got Zay Flowers increasingly becoming Lamar Jackson's favorite target in Baltimore, and the ever-consistent Chris Godwin versus the young upcoming Jahan Dotson on Team Stream, and the aged one, whose knee is the size of a basketball, Juju Smith-Schuster, who's just hanging on. So I definitely Flip looks like he might have the advantage in the wide receiver room as well. As far as tight ends, you got the Superman tight end Kyle Pitts. Looks like Superman, plays like Jane the last couple of seasons. Where's the production, Kyle Pitts? He cost me my league last year, so I got some pissed off still with Pitts. And then you have Hayden Hurts, kind of reliable, steady tight end target, being the young rookie quarterback in Carolina's go-to guy. In the flex, you got Kendrick Bourne, who's probably going to be shut down by D this weekend, versus Josh Reynolds, who's been forced into a starting position with Detroit and has the potential to put up some big numbers.
And Goff loves him.
Yeah, Goff loves him. Yeah, and he's came out of nowhere to have a nice solid career.
Well, I think they made an early connection when Goff was still in L.A.
Yeah, yes, they did, and he came over with Goff, I think, to Detroit, and he's lasted. Against a lot of surprising a lot of people. If we look at the defensive matchup here, we've got Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner. That's a pretty good a defensive approach here versus Zaire Franklin, a tackle monster from Indianapolis, and Brian Burns, who Team Stream will be hoping has a monster game and sacks David Carr 2 or 3 times.
Burns.
Yeah, Mr. Burns, one of the most talented defensive ends in the league, one of the fastest in terms of that outside rush. So we'll see if Burns has a big game to even things up for Stream. But I got to give the advantage to Flip side here going into this matchup. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
Flip side says looks pretty evenly matched himself. Tua scares him. And Atlanta needs to learn how to pass.
All right. Let me. If you could scroll up to the stars, I'll give you my 2 favorites from each team, like I did last time. Of course, obviously, Tua Tagovailoa is one, and
you gotta like Saquon.
And of course, I'm gonna go with 49ers defense on that.
49ers defense, yeah, okay, against the Rams.
Yeah, and on the team here, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with. Holy crap! I'll say Fred Warner, and I'm being very biased here, so I'm being very transparent here. Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, I like that Saquon Barkley play by Team Stream here. against an Arizona team who's obviously, well, I don't know, obviously, but there appears to be tanking this season. And you have an angry New York Giants embarrassed on primetime TV. Barkley's going to want to fix that this week right away. So I'm looking for an outstanding performance from Barkley. So flip side, man, you better be ready, man. I think you got a solid all-around squad, but everybody needs to be firing on all cylinders for you to have a chance in this contest. Again, between two of the top teams in the league thus far, Team Stream versus Flip Side. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at TFTG's own Ali. And I don't know if you're out there listening to Ali, but I wanted to give you your props. Last year, I remember Ali kind of went out on a limb and was projecting and predicting the usage of Eazy-E. I remember he was openly questioning how Eazy-E would fit into our own Dolphins system. And controversially, Ali projected that he may be getting looks at tight end and other positions aside from receiver. A lot of people had problems with his hypothesis at the time, but lo and behold, as you can see this year, it just came out this week, Eazy-E does see himself as a Deebo Samuels type producer who will contribute to the Fins from more than just a wide receiver position. So I think Ali's thinking was confirmed with what's been revealed now about how Eazy-E fits into this offense going forward. So just want to say congratulations to Ali G about his prognostication on Eazy-E. But as far as
you can make an argument that without using Eazy-E like that last week, we don't win that game.
Oh yeah, they had to respect what we showed them early on by Eazy-E, just busting them out like that. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, but as far as the fantasy goes, this is a really tough lineup, really tough matchup. I know earlier we had Louis Orta talking some major smack to Ali, whose team is a bit in crisis right now. He's starting Sam Darnold, the backup, in his quarterback position, and that stems from the fact that his projected starter was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, who has suffered a catastrophic, potentially career-ending injury last week and is out. And again, this just highlights why it's so important in a deep league like this to grab a backup quarterback who is a starter. I know there's a premium on the position because in a 20-team league, that would mean you need 40 starting quarterbacks, which is impossible in a 32-team league. So there was a premium on drafting a second starting quarterback, and it looks like this may come back to bite Ali in the butt here in week 2 until he can figure out what to do about his quarterback position. Baker Mayfield is, I could see the lights starter.
Just trade crypto for his quarterback. He don't give a damn about having a quarterback.
Yeah, well, hey, only Team Crypto goes about it that way. But unfortunately, now Ali has joined him in that approach, involuntarily, though, it appears. As far as the running back matchup, you got the up-and-coming Javonte Williams against the stud, Christian McCaffrey, projected for 30.5 points, along with Antonio Gibson, the workhorse back out of Washington. So Ali has 40 projected points going into the running back matchup versus 30 or so from I See the Light. As far as the wide receivers go, and again, this is that domino effect of Rodgers going down. I Can See the Light brings in a Garrett Wilson, whose projections have to have taken a major hit with Rodgers going down. But then he's got the stud Jalen Waddle. So he brings Wilson and Waddle. This would have been a much more threatening wide receiver duo last week with Rodgers still at the helm. But again, Ali.
Tell you what, though, I have to say it, Kahari, that Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, what a phenomenal catch.
Oh yeah.
Last week. I mean, that to me, that's far greater than 10,000 times the catch that we saw from Odell Beckham Jr. that sprung board his career. You know what I mean? And that type of receiver can make even Zach Wilson look good. So keep that in mind.
Exactly. Yeah, he's going to have a magnet, like Crypto says, a gravitational effect on Zach Wilson's play for sure. Garrett Wilson, if you thought his Offensive Player of the Year award last year was a fluke, then that catch certainly showed you the kind of talent he brings to the table. And again, quoting Crypto, the gravitational pull on their quarterback will certainly be in effect with the talent that guy brings to the table. Ali brings Metcalf and Ayuk, a very respectable, very threatening wide receiver combo. So this is an interesting matchup, except for that quarterback position, folks. Cole Kmet versus David Njoku, probably second or third tier tight ends who can go off on any given week and be a game winner or decisive winner when it comes to fantasy football. And then on the flex, after a very disappointing week one, I could see the light has Jamal Williams projected for a big total this week against Carolina, 20.6, which is kind of surprising, versus Tutu Atwell, who also had a surprisingly successful showing last week, gaining over 100 yards and multiple receptions for the Rams. So this game, aside from that quarterback position, may come down to the defense, where I can see the light brings Micah Parsons and Dre Greenlaw, tackle machine, next to Fred Warner in that San Francisco defense, versus hungry for tackles, Foyesade Olakun. This guy just loves making tackles all over the field. And Logan Wilson, a very talented linebacker in that Cincinnati setup. If Ali can do something at the quarterback position, I would give him a slight advantage, but unless he finds an answer in 24 hours, I could see the light. I don't know.
So Adam Padilla says, I told Ali, give me Ayuk and I'll give him Jimmy G. Adam Padilla. Matter of fact, Ali and I were on the phone the other night, and we were discussing that trade. He told me you had made that trade offer to him. I won't reveal, the contents of the discussion. Keep pressing on him. Maybe he'll do a deal,
That sounds like it makes
sense.
See
what else he can do.
Because Ali has some options. He can slide in he can slide in Hunter Renfrow into that other starting position and just ride DK Metcalf as his horse. He's going to have to do something like that at this point because the absence of a quarterback is a glaring hole in what otherwise would be a really solid team,
Right.
So, yeah.
So do you have an opinion on that particular trade offer, Kahari? Because I gave mine to Ali, but
no, I was on the call.
Maybe you say something that changes Ali's mind or something. You know what I mean?
I was on that call and I thought it was pretty fair.
You were, weren't you? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fair, but Ali's the captain of his own ship, and maybe he thinks he deserves more than Jimmy G. I don't know what his personal opinion is on Jimmy G, but as long as Jimmy G is healthy, he's been a productive quarterback. But of course, the problem with him is health. He never can stay healthy, and when he gets hurt, it's like a season-long injury typically. So it is a bit of a gamble. You're gambling on if Jimmy G can stay healthy, because I do think Ali covets Ayuk, and Ayuk's performance in week one would have certainly justified his not wanting to make that deal. But if you got a deal, either Metcalf or Ayuk, I think Ayuk is the guy that goes. Yeah, right. I don't know. But I think that's a deal that's waiting to be made. So hopefully those guys can work something out. Maybe a second player each can sweeten the deal on both sides. So that may be a way for them to get the deal done. Guys, you got to get into your Chris Greer mode. Come on now. Make it happen. All right, do we have any matchups left? Have we gone over all the matchups? I think so. I don't know in the chat. Did we miss any of the matchups? Oh, yeah, we did. We got two more left, actually. We got Guardians of the End Zone versus Rizzler of Oz. And then we got Team Greg versus Top of the Hill. All right, so let's take a look at Guardians of the End Zone versus Adam Padilla's Rizzler of Oz. Now, Adam Padilla, this is an interesting matchup. Both teams lost in week 1, but Adam Padilla's Rizzler of Oz team was the number 1 ranked team coming out of the draft. So sort of like Kansas City, I think Padilla's team is hungry for a victory in week 2, but he's got to respect his competition here. I'm not going to reveal who the manager is of this team here, but just know this is a guy who his knowledge of football is top notch. The Guardians of the End Zone ain't no joke, and I'm just going to leave it there. He's got Pentagon level NFL knowledge, let's just say. I'll leave it at that. All right, so let's take a look at the matchup. We got Justin Herbert versus the bum, the overrated Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. The bum.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this matchup, man? It's an interesting one.
I'll give you, like I said the last time, I'll give you my 2 favorites from this one. On this team, I like St. Brown. I think Detroit Lions, they're heating up, and oh man, let me see how else.
There goes that Joshua Kelly fella.
I would say no. Green Bay's defense is getting better and better, so I'll say Green Bay defense on that one. And then of course on the offense here, this is a interesting one. I'm gonna have to say Derrick Henry and I think Justin Herbert. He's gonna light it up. He's good for fantasy points.
I can't disagree, Shake. I mean, if you ask me what scenario is more likely to happen, given the circumstances of each team, will Justin Herbert bounce back and have a bigger passing day? Also, because Eckler is injured, okay, and their opponent is who?
Tennessee,
okay. Or is that scenario more likely to happen, or is this scenario more likely to happen? Josh Allen continues to slide, and the problems between him and Diggs grow, and they drop a shocker to the well-coached offense ran by Jimmy G and Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs.
And don't forget Josh McDaniels. He loves. He knows how to use Jimmy G properly.
Right. So, like which of those 2 scenarios is more likely to happen?
And then let me just add, even though we beat them last week, to me, Justin Herbert did not do himself any. He didn't show himself in any negative light, man.
Right. I mean,
we
know that and that's why it's apparent to me that we were taking that part out of his game, like we were focusing on that, and likewise they countered with a heavy dose of running.
Well, if Rizzler of Oz has any shot this week, it's that he's gambling wholeheartedly on production from the Chargers. He's got 3 Chargers in his starting lineup: Herbert, Kelly, and Allen. So if they have a big game, you can probably expect Rizzler of Oz to pull this off. Although, Josh Allen, say what you want about the bum, he is kind of a wild card who can hurt you in the air and on the ground. So he's like a wild card. So you're saying
the team that has Josh Allen also has those guys from the Chargers?
No.
No. Okay. The guy that has Herbert has it's a Herbert stack on the one side.
Yeah, it's Herbert stack on one side.
That's a good move, man. That's going to be tough to beat this week, even for Josh Allen.
But it's Josh Allen and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's as dependable a workhorse receiver as possible. And so, and then they got Miles Sanders, who I don't know if you watched DeAndre Swift on Thursday night. He's going to want to look good and make Philadelphia regret the fact that they chose Swift over him. So I don't know. It's an interesting matchup here. I have to lean to the side of Padilla's team here. But again, the Guardians of the End Zone, they've got a solid squad. And if they were to go 0-2, I'd still think this is a team to worry about down
That's
the
a
line.
fun matchup.
Yeah,
That's one of those regretful matchups for him too if he does drop it, because like you said, going 0-2 with a stacked team just means that he happened to face two other stacked teams. You know what I mean?
Right. If we look at the bench real quick before we move on, Jimmy Garoppolo is on Padilla's bench, along with Crypto's favorite player, Devontae Parker, who's making his debut this week against the Miami Dolphins. He also brings Durham Smythe to the table. And on the other side, the Guardians of the End Zone has Kieran Williams. Again, Cam Akers is in a shaky position here and can lose. In my opinion, he can lose that position to Kyron Williams, who is brings lots of table for the running back position, skills wise. And then Rashid Shaheed, who had a really good performance in Week 1 for New Orleans, may be a sleeper, sneaky pick for him to put into the lineup eventually. So interesting matchup here. Any last thoughts?
Let's move on to the next one, I reckon.
All right, last matchup. Team Greg.
That's my
Fontaine
dude right there
versus Bryson Long.
Yeah, I'm gonna be transparent, just like with Crypto. I'm gonna be rooting for Team Greg. That's my dude right there.
There it is. So Shake's behind you, Greg. And if we look at the matchup, we got Justin Fields versus Ryan Tannehill at the quarterback position. Justin Fields projected to win this matchup by 6 points. And then Team Greg puts Nick Chubb and Brian Robinson out there. Brian Robinson being running back one from Washington against a stout Denver defense. Nick Chubb, who's killed the Pittsburgh Steelers over his career, projected for 24. But top of the hill, Bryson's team brings an equally threatening running attack with
Dios mío.
Joe Mixon and David Montgomery, scheduled for 43 points combined. And then Bryson brings the big dog, Tyreek Hill. Just don't, tell him that he can't have a spot on your boat and you're fine. But Tyreek Hill, along with Terry McLaurin, is definitely a threatening combo in the fantasy world. Versus Greg's pickup of Puka Nacua and DJ Moore. Tight ends, Bryson already had an outstanding performance from TJ Hawkinson, scored 2 touchdowns in a loss on Thursday Night Football and put up 25 points.
Ali's favorite tight end.
Yeah, versus Greg, bringing the big guy, Freiermuth, the Penn State tight end, playing for Pittsburgh, keeping it in state. Maybe he can have a big game to even things up. The flex position looks to the advantage of Bryson, with 13 points scheduled from wide receiver 1 in Indianapolis, Michael Pittman, who managed to score despite having a rookie running quarterback. And versus Tank Bigsby. And again, Tank Bigsby may get some play, as Jacksonville's certainly going to factor in its run game and its efforts to defeat Kansas City and send them to the second loss. So we'll see what happens. Bryson brings that outstanding Cowboys defense against Zach Wilson. Go ahead, Shake.
I love Greg's backups, man. He's got Jonathan Taylor. He signed him, a smart move just in case whoever, because he's going to go to a contender.
Yeah.
I love Jared Goff and especially A-Chain. A-Chain, he's going to be one of those guys down the line that are going to be getting you some points later down the same season. Same thing with Craycraft, is pretty good points as well. But I like his backups.
Yeah, and that's what we said coming out of the draft, that Greg's team was poised to be a contender all fantasy football season.
And
long.
Ramsey too. Oh shit.
Yeah. The way he invested in the future on his team, he's got studs who are going to filter into his lineup. As they come off the pup list and stuff like that. His team is poised to have studs throughout. So I'm scared of Greg. I'm scared of Team Greg, man.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't.
as far as the starters are concerned, I like. If you could scroll up, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say Justin Fields. Even though he had a pretty good game, he'll get you some fantasy points, man.
Yeah, he's a growing quarterback.
Yeah, because he always has the potential of breaking a 70-yard run.
That's right. I mean, he's got that level of athleticism, but the thing is with Justin Fields is he's not a bad thrower of the ball either.
No, not at all.
He can sling it, man. So, and he's a young
He
quarterback.
also knows how to hit his tight end, often.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Team Greg's looking very threatening.
And the thing about Greg, the play he's making is kind of brilliant because barring injuries on the top of his lineup, his lineup is good enough to certainly snatch a few wins before all these other guys come off the bench. You know what I mean?
Check your Twitter, Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he can even go above 500 before guys like Ramsey and Taylor sign somewhere and all this, then he's really powerful right now. So you all got to do everything you can to beat him early on before those guys come off the bench.
Exactly. And so far, your words to God's ears, Color, because right now Team Greg is 0-1. If he gets in a hole, he's going to have to climb out of that hole.
Exactly. And some of those guys might not come to fruition after all,
Right. So. And on the other side, Bryson, who's one of our, main contributors here to TFTG, supports all our platforms. He's got a really solid team. And I know for him, Ryan Tannehill's got to produce to level out his team. But as long as he has a healthy Tyreek, he's going to be in every fantasy matchup week in and week out. His bench is kind of thin, so injury is really a threat to Bryson's long-term forecast.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna read this comment from Greg in my best Greg impression. My opponent got lucky last week.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Roach?
Hey, I was wondering if y'all saw the trade with crypto I proposed.
No, I didn't catch it. What? So go ahead and verbalize it for us.
So I picked up Zach Wilson on the waiver, and then I offered the trade to crypto for one of his running backs, and give him a starting quarterback.
He should have picked him up on waivers. Holy crap!
Yeah, he should have done it.
It did. It passed him by.
Crypto, in case you haven't figured out, crypto is a contrarian. Okay, he is gonna win this league without a quarterback. Mark my words.
I almost don't want to get rid of Zach Wilson because I don't think crypto's because Daniel Jones got me basically 0 points.
Well, the thing of it is, bro, if your other guy's on a bye and you plop in Wilson again, somebody's got to take the snaps for that team. You know what I mean? So
I got 3 starting quarterbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
I got Bryce Young too. So.
Oh, wow.
Well, here's the thing.
That's only half a starting quarterback.
That's Zach Wilson make 1 total.
I'm sorry, I wasn't little people shaming there.
No, by the way, I have a different assessment on crypto. I don't think he's a contrarian. I think he's more of an etched in stone guy. Once he said something, once he has something etched in stone, that's it. When he has a certain game plan, it's etched in stone. Forget about it.
All right, I just call him a contrarian.
Well, I don't even know. I don't think he knows about the trade offer.
Oh, well, he ain't been around. He's probably sleeping right now.
So I didn't know if you could text him for me and be like, hey, you got a trade there to check it out.
You're more likely to get some traction out of Ali, but not for Zach Wilson.
No,
who are your other quarterbacks?
He might do a deal for Bryce Young with you.
I got Bryce Young, I got Zach Wilson, and I got Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Now, I only had 2.
Ali might even do a deal for Daniel Jones with you. I mean,
I don't know.
Are you willing to deal Bryce Young?
Yeah, I just need a flex.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm looking for is a flex. I might even package Sean Tucker in there to give me good enough one.
Where did Bryce Young play college?
I don't know. Not at Syracuse.
Alabama Red Tide. Roll Tide.
Yeah, Ali won't take him. But by the way, secret tip from Color. Now that I don't think Ali's listening, if you ever want to do a deal with Ali, offer him an Ohio State player.
Yeah.
Now, do you all think the Giants
Or do it tonight when he's drunk.
Do y'all think the Giants are going to bounce back fantasy-wise this week?
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah. I think they were embarrassed.
Nobody's that
obviously
bad.
on Sunday night, and yeah, exactly. Nobody is that bad. There was a cascading list of bad events that happened to them. So just forget about that game, and they're gonna.
Yeah, they were like us. They were like us, but without the points.
Yeah.
They're gonna pound that Arizona team this weekend if I had to bet my money. Yeah.
But no, I got a bunch of guys I put up for willing the trade. Sean Tucker is on my trade list.
Yeah, I kind of coveted him in the draft, Roach. Come on, man.
Hey,
you drafted him right before me again.
See,
draft,
there you go. There you go.
Sometimes I draft for trades, dude.
Right. Well, there you go. Adam Padilla says Crypto didn't even want Jimmy G. For
he ain't gonna want.
He's
Zach
not
Wilson.
gonna want Zach. It's like, yeah, I'm telling you, bro. He's a total contrarian. He's no. Baker, I'm fine. I got a quarterback. Baker Mayfield is gonna get hurt or gonna get benched, and Kyle Trask is gonna be the guy. And you know what? I don't necessarily think that's a bad presumption.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
Roach, Ali, and Crypto. Those are two guys you need to be offering to, man. If you, I'm sure you know.
Yeah,
if you
they both don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, Ali don't have a quarterback?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is hurt.
Yeah.
What's his team name called?
Ali pees on your pick. No, that's a different league he's in.
Ali.
Yeah, that's Ali's name in Miss Finn's pigskin pick'em is Ali pees on your picks.
This one's Ali P like G.
There you go. That's probably it.
Booyaka shot.
Yeah. See, now I'll offer Ali a trade right now for Zach Wilson. You think he'd want Zach Wilson, or you think he want the other guy?
Well, it depends on who you want from him because he didn't even want Jimmy G.
Listen, if you want negative points on your fantasy league, take Zach Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hold on though, real quick. I didn't say that Ali didn't want Jimmy G. I shouldn't have said it that way. He didn't want to give up Brandon Ayuk for Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So it just depends on who you want from him. You know, he's willing to talk. He's not a contrarian like Crypto. He's not trying to go quarterbackless.
And if I trade for Zach Wilson, will you send over the MILF with him?
The MILF.
Well, she's. I think she's a cougar now. I don't.
Do we get Stifler's mom
she's grown out
in the package?
Okay,
I think she's already like upgraded the cougar, right?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yep. By the way, if you guys already know who I'm rooting for this week, it's gonna look no further.
I'm gonna tell Ali I want Christian McCaffrey for Zach Wilson.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know though.
I just thought
I thought Cougar was the same thing. I thought a Cougar was just a MILF that never had any kids.
Wait, a MILF? What?
I thought a Cougar was just a MILF that didn't have any kids.
But are you still a MILF once your kids are grown?
Well, yeah.
I mean, because once they're grown, it's not like you got.
But you're still a mother.
Yeah.
Well, I think MILF. You're a MILF when you're in like the 30 age. 30.
Well, let me reverse it. Let me reverse what I said. A MILF is a cougar that had kids. No, because cougar, there's a reason for the name, is that they go after young men and as many as they can. You know what I mean?
You go from MILF to GILF, like grandma.
Right, exactly. And that's as soon as your kids have kids. Mm-hmm. You might be 38 years old and be a GILF.
When you get the chance, I put a video in the private chat. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. It's the Cougar Hunter song. That's not me performing. Just
Look at Anthony's like, a cougar is anybody above 60. Thanks for that clarification, Anthony.
So it really ranked me at 16 out of 20 because that 1 week. That's crazy.
yeah. Well, you know what it is? As long as you're in
It
the
said
loss
I had
column
an 80% chance of winning on Monday night,
on Monday night, yeah.
Mhm.
and then Daniel Jones happened.
Oh, jeez.
Just
Sunday
like
night.
in the real season, it's really too early for these projections to be very meaningful. You know, as we get more data, then hopefully it'll make more sense.
Right.
You know,
And
but
I don't think anybody would project that happening anyway. You know, like even if it was middle of the season, like they're never going to project somebody puts up a goose egg.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Last time it happened was when I had Josh Allen. They canceled the football game last year.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, want to give a shout out to Mr. Park, Crazy Dolphin in the chat, man. Thanks for all the help, man. Encouraging others to hit that like button. Again, it's the Fantasy Football Forecast every Saturday at 11 a.m. Apologies to all of you who've been riding with us from the start. I know we had some technical issues at the top. So thank you for sticking with us as we, chop it up here on Everything Fantasy. If you have a question, if you have something you want to discuss, come on, join us up here and we'll chop it up.
I'll drop the link right now then.
Yeah,
I'm open.
I'm also here for any DFS talk too. Don't be afraid to talk daily fantasy too. I got some good tidbits for this week.
What are you looking
that
to
I'm going to try out? I don't suggest anybody try out what I do, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
All right, tell it.
How funny! Saying, my daily fantasies include MILFs and Cougars.
I'm just saying I'm open to all trades, so I might even do a trade live on air if somebody offers one.
So you're saying your daily fantasy sport is cougar hunting, Shake?
Yes, and MILF
hunting. So hey,
like Zach Wilson.
That is you on the video that I just shared, then, Shake. But anyway, hey, yeah, okay. Let me take a look at your roster right now, Roach. I'm gonna make you an offer right now, an offer you can't refuse.
Okay.
I'm in a separate fantasy league, guys. I have 2 quarterbacks on my roster. Who should I start? I have
both of them.
No, I have Brock Purdy, and I have and Justin Fields. Who do I start this week?
Ooh,
I would always default.
Fields.
I would always default to the quarterback that has running ability.
If you look at the report,
got one.
Justin Fields got he got yelled at last week. He got him and DJ Moore. Start them both. They got yelled at last week.
Okay.
My receivers. I don't have DJ Moore. I have Justin Jefferson and the guy from Buffalo.
Well, you need to trade Ali, one of those quarterbacks, for Brandon Ayuk.
I have Justin Jefferson, man. I don't need that.
Yeah, but that'd be deadly.
Flipside said he needs a backup quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm not part of your guys' league. I do have.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Kahari will break the rules for you.
Nah, Anthony. Hey, man, Anthony. First off, Anthony, you're in a great position, dude. As far as week 2, you've got 2 excellent choices at that quarterback position. In our own league, Miss Fins gambled and put Brock Purdy ahead of who did she have?
Kirk
Cousins. So that just shows you how
those are both game managers, bro. So that's actually that's a 50-50.
No, based on their opponents, who should I start?
Right.
Well, again, given equal opponents, we'll talk about them in a second. But given equal opponents, Brock Purdy is would be more likely the one to have like a mid 200s passing game because he's carried more by his team. Whereas Justin Fields, he might be carried by his team too, but he has the ability to pop off a 70-yard run touchdown at any time.
Okay.
Brock Purdy will never give you that potential.
Yeah, right. Brock is more of a traditional pocket passer. That's why.
Right. But here's the thing that you also want to consider, Anthony. Brock's week 1 performance was so impressive to everyone who saw it that his potential as a consistent point scorer week in, week out is now like in an unquestioned level. His ability to manage that team, it wasn't questioned coming back off of injury. And he proved all the doubters wrong in week 1. So you can't go wrong in picking Purdy. But I think Color is 100% right here, and Greg as well. Justin Fields has the potential to be the best overall quarterback in all of fantasy with his combined.
Yeah, he could be on the Millie Maker in daily fantasy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. I have another quarterback question. I have my starter is Justin Herbert. My backup is Deshaun Watson. Based on their opponents, who do I start this week?
Why would you start Herbert? Herbert has not given you any reason not to start him. And then, but Watson, even though Watson got the victory last week, he was kind of shaky in that victory. There were several passes that he didn't connect. Just, I guess, Russ still being there. He didn't look as strong as he needed to be. And I watched a lot of that game precisely to investigate that question. I'm not sold on Watson having returned to form yet.
Man, even though he has running ability, Justin Herbert is a proven large volume pocket passer and a guy that's missing his starting running back this week and arguably his best pass catcher.
Eckler got benched or injured?
No, he's injured.
I thought Eckler played yesterday.
He's injured this week.
Oh, how did he get injured?
We injured him. You didn't see him walking gingerly off the field later in the game last week? We hurt his ankle.
Sure did. Yeah. After that one hit, he got up and was kind of a little limpy.
So guys, I want your opinions on. I had a comment earlier in the chat about our defense. Our defense this week. I want your opinions on it.
A little limpy sounds like he needs to take a blue chew. But go ahead.
Blue chew. Jesus Christ! I don't need that. I don't need that.
You can't be a cougar hunter without a blue chew, bro.
but go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
Oh, what I said in the chat earlier. I know you guys were talking about fantasy, but with X slowing down a little bit, like the past few years, X has been slowing down a little bit. I think it would benefit a guy, Fangio, to play more press bail coverage, or do you need more athletic corners for that type of defense? That type of coverage. Kahari, you think?
Oh, you're asking me? Okay, well, I'd pump the brakes still on Xavier Howard being totally over the hill. I wouldn't be surprised to see him have a bounce back this week, but I think long term, your point is well taken. He is getting long in the tooth, and he may be better in that older system that he's used to being in, playing more press man coverage. So you know. I'm a pretty conservative guy when it comes to football predictions. I don't think we've had enough sample size yet this season to make.
No, including last year. Last year, I know he played with injuries last year, but in general, it looks like he's been slowing down and stuff like that.
I understand why you're saying that, Anthony, but I would be me personally a little bit hesitant to just make that my final conclusion on X at this stage. I think he's smart enough to figure it out. He's a competitor. He brings those intangibles that he's going to find a way to be successful in this defense. And so, I'll see.
No, what I was asking, does that type of defense, the press bail defense, does that need more athletic corners, or would that actually help X a lot more?
I think it'll help him, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I have a whole bunch of I didn't draft my running backs till late. Most of my running backs are rookie running backs in all my fantasy leagues. I don't trust any of the running backs, the top running backs, because they sometimes disappear and stuff like that. And do you guys do that? Like, do you guys draft more rookie running backs at the end of the draft and not draft any running backs at the beginning?
That's where I got picked. Yeah, I drafted him late. I like Roshan Johnson too, so I like drafting running backs late sometimes.
Did you guys? Any of you guys draft? What's his name? The running back.
I just sent Ali a trade proposal.
That rookie the guy who did any of you guys draft Bijan?
No.
I did not. Another thing to do, Anthony, is whenever you're considering drafting a rookie running back or a backup running back, you kind of want to pair them with the starter. If you can have a tag team, that makes a lot of sense in case the starter goes down. Then you have his backup right there in place. So if you can, you want to try to do that whenever possible. It's not always going to be possible, but it's something to look forward to do.
But you could always get lucky too, like with a Chargers team last week, whose backup also put up 97 behind Eckler's yardage. You know what I mean? So, you got that too.
Well,
you're rarely going to start both of them at the same time.
And do you guys usually play a receiver at your flex or a running back on your flex as your flex normally?
I play whoever I think is going to get me the most points. I think it's pretty interchangeable, especially with the league now. Receivers can. Before it used to err towards running backs for me, but now receivers can be just as potent as running backs back in the day in terms of scoring points. So whoever projects
last night Dallas Goedert, Thursday night actually Dallas got me like 40 points.
Dallas Goedert?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, he didn't really do too much, but
No, but I think he got a touchdown, and I'm not. His receiving yards were like 95. Like,
no, you're thinking of Hawkinson. You're thinking of the other guy, Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson had the big game. Yeah.
Oh,
Minnesota's tight end had a huge game, but Goddard didn't do much. He only had.
I'm thinking T.J. versus. And
what was that? Roach?
Did you send me a trade offer?
I did.
Oh, hey, Roach, by the way, do you still do live streams, man? I've been trying to find your
I haven't started back up yet on it. But
yeah, Roach, I didn't know if you wanted a receiver or not because your team's bench was it looks like you need more running backs.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you a 2-for-1.
I don't have 2 spots open though.
A 2-for-1.
I'm willing to trade Jared Goff, but you're gonna have to offer me something because I'm not sure if I want to move to Goff or Fields yet. So it'd have to be like a god tier offer.
Ali and Crypto need to be listening to that because they need a starting quarterback.
It'd have to be a god tier offer to do it because I like Goff, I like Fields, but I don't know which one to go to. I don't know who has the bye week when, but I'd have to put that. If it's a god tier offer, I'm gonna have to do it.
Listen, Greg, real quick.
What's up, Lou?
Greg, what's up, Lou? Before you go, Lou, Greg, keep them both, man, because at the end of the day, and you switch them out depending on your matchup. So you know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
But go ahead, Louis. Sorry about that.
Hey, my fault to cut in. I'm not going to be in here long. I'm working, but I just wanted to come. Thank you, KP, for doing the show, getting me through my work day. Just wanted to come in, say what's up to the fellas, and tell everybody in the damn chat, man, hit the damn like button, man. What are y'all doing? Get them likes up. Let's show the homie KP some love, man.
Hey, by the way, Louis.
Salute y'all.
Hey, Louis, now that you're here, I want to make a quick announcement. I'm glad that you're here. This Wednesday in the Smoke Lounge, we got Nene coming in. I booked her.
All right, yay! Where's the applause, man? I'm gonna be in the house to give her my support.
Who is Nene?
She's on
I
Twitter.
want to be a part of that.
Nene's gonna be on Twitter,
well,
man.
Come to the Smoke Lounge next week and find out.
Absolutely.
I would love to be a part of it.
You'll love Nene, Anthony. Trust me.
It's gonna be a bang. I was just talking to Nene a little bit earlier this morning, and she was in a Twitter space that I was in a couple of minutes ago, just listening. So, but shout out to again. Listen, there's a lot of queens in this community. Miss Fins is one, Miss Pam is one, and I would also say Miss Nene as well is a queen in the community. So I'm glad we got her on, Shake, for real.
You know, Pam's gonna be there. I'm gonna see you. I could reach out to Miss Fins and let her be on there too. So
absolutely.
And I might
Lewis,
try to
what's
get Dolph
up, bro?
Too. So I might try to get Dolph Freaky too. So we'll see.
Hey, what's going on, Roach? Man, what's good, Roach?
Nothing, man. I pop around to some of these streams. I hear you're still taking lives out there, man.
We'll see.
I know, Roach. I need to take your approach, bro. I need to calm down and just be easy. But these guys in this community, man, they drive me crazy, Roach.
I hear you. I popped into one Twitter one time and I just heard you going off. I was at work. I had to turn it off real quick because my boss looked at me like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I'm sorry about getting
No, you
you in
good.
trouble.
It was funny. I didn't get
you almost got Roach fired.
No, I work with my brother-in-law, so if he gets rid of me, he's got to deal with my wife. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hey, what's good, Mr. Paul?
Esther.
I don't want to talk about the subject too much, but I definitely would like to. I've dealt with
An invitation?
the subject that you are talking about, and I would like to really voice my opinion about it.
Yeah, for sure.
If
For
that's
sure,
what
Mr.
you're
Paul.
doing.
Yeah, we
okay,
doing.
I would love to do
Yeah,
that.
we
Because
doing
I'm
that
very
Wednesday.
serious about that subject. Very serious.
Oh, by the way, today's Marino's birthday.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was yesterday, actually.
Well,
it
it
was
was
yesterday.
We could
Oh, happy
fire up an
birthday to the big
afternoon
dog.
channel if you want. Let's make sure we got more. We don't have any more fantasy questions first.
Oh, Miss
Yeah,
Mims
yeah,
and Marino
yeah. I don't
had
wanna
the same
turn that in.
birthdays, Anthony. Just
No,
so you
because
know.
I got a couple football questions. If
Yeah.
y'all not
Hey,
yeah,
I'm
jumping
finna
on
get
soon.
out of here, but shout out to you boys. I'm gonna keep
Shout out
listening,
to you,
but
brother.
shout out to y'all
No
boys.
doubt, no doubt,
Just wanted
Lewis.
to
Yeah,
say what's
Lewis.
up.
Lewis
Thanks,
don't know
bro.
shit.
Don't get him started, man.
What up, y'all?
Hey, Esther, real quick. In 12 days, no, today's the 16th. Yeah, 12 days. I'll be going out to
Yeah, when
Vegas.
Charlotte gets knocked out, what happened?
Bro, hey, I'm sending you videos, Esther. I'm in the building, T-Mobile Arena, section 212, man. I'm going to the fight. So I'll be in the building.
Oh, really? Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas. I go out there, I think Thursday is when I land. Thursday.
What fight are you
afternoon in
going to see,
Vegas.
Lewis?
Canelo versus Charlo. So
That's going to be honestly, Charlo's too small. He's going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, I would tend to agree with you.
Too small.
I would technically like to agree with you that he, whatever, Anthony, but since Esther's up here, I'm going Charlo all the way. I just want Esther to hear that.
How old is Canelo now, yo? Because he seems to be getting a little older too.
He's in his upper 30s.
He's a year younger than Charlo's 34. He's 33.
Oh, okay. Charlo's old too. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah,
Canelo's considered younger.
Right. Y'all boys have a good one, man. Shout out to KP, and again, y'all hit the like button, man.
Yo, give thanks, Lou. Give thanks, Lou. Yeah, man.
Man, I popped up, man, because I've been trying to get on StreamYard forever, and I just haven't been able. I don't know what it is, man. I just haven't been able to get on. You guys were on. I wanted to check and see if it was working, and it let me through. So I was like, "What?"
No, it works, but sometimes they change their format of how you get on. Because that's where I experienced that myself.
Yeah, do you do fantasy for other sports, KP, besides football?
Man, I used to be a long time fantasy baseball player and fantasy basketball, but now by old age, in my cougar hunting age, I only do fantasy football now, dude.
Yeah, the analytics for like baseball and basketball just get so in the weeds, man.
Blame these super nerds winning these like pay for fantasy, dude. Like the super nerd, like these guys from like Caltech or Harvard winning all these pay for fantasy. Even football is getting like that, where a lot of people are moving away from football too because it's getting too analytical.
Yeah,
to the point where it's not enjoyable.
The algorithm, man. They mastered the algorithm and the chat GPT and all that crap, man. I just like beating up on a regular group of friends who I know and taking their money on an annual basis. So that's what I do.
You think Mosert's going to be all year?
Yeah, that's the other cure to it, Anthony, is you play in smaller cash tournaments. You get together with friends. You build private tournaments of like 20 people that all put in $20. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you're just dealing with so many thousands of different lineups that it's like winning the lottery, you know?
Do you do pay for fantasy, Color?
I'm sorry?
Do you do pay for fantasy like DraftKings or anything like that?
I mean, I do. I haven't deposited in any money in a long time, so I just been because I didn't want to get in the weeds on it for the past couple seasons, but I still put in like their free tournaments, or I'll still buy in like quarter or dollar tournaments just to put in a lineup or two based solely on my thoughts and game script and stuff like that, traditional ways to build a lineup, you know what I mean? And just see if I get lucky, you know.
Is there any props you can recommend this week for football? For this
Anyway.
Sunday? Any props? You usually do a you and El Capitan used to do like a
right. Oh, you mean like betting props? I haven't looked this week myself, but a fun one I always like to throw a $5 bill on is the will there be overtime? Pick your favorite primetime game this week, Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, whatever. There's 2 on Monday this week. But pick one of those primetime games and throw a $5 bill on yes for overtime.
Yeah, no, for me, I this is where I can't stand our fan base just because it's the Patriots and they don't have receiver talent. It's a rivalry game, and like division rivals usually play better against division rivals no matter how much talent they have. It's like pro football is like that with college and pro are the same. Similar.
Well, that's true. That's true. Usually, that's true. But look, we've been blown out by division opponents before.
Yeah. Well, look no further to the Giants and Cowboys. They're division rivals, and they got their asses kicked.
That was embarrassing.
There you go.
That was embarrassing.
There you go.
How did the Giants not score a point?
And sometimes knowing your opponents that well can also work to, hey, if you guys are executing and they're not, all of a sudden it becomes a blowout.
And I warn people that the Giants overpaid Daniel Jones. He didn't deserve that money. He really didn't. I understand he took you to the playoffs, but his stats didn't justify that contract. Like, realistically, his stats were the same as Tua last year. Basically,
all I know is one person scored the first touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys. We already know who that is.
All praise Noah.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, Noah scored. I forgot that Noah scored that the first touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a question for the panel. How does Fangio prepare for the Patriots as far as our D-line go? Because we were being gassed when we played the Chargers. What change make to adjust to that?
Because of talent, I think he would start employing a little bit more, not to an extreme extent, but a little bit more wide 9 concepts on the D-line and stuff like that to have more openings for our linebackers and to cover up those holes, Mr. Polk. To be honest, I think he employs more wide 9 concepts on the D-line.
Well, but see, Anthony, the only question I have about that is that with our linebackers, because really David Long, I know everybody has a bad day, but David Long was lost, and then also too, I didn't see much out of Jerome, and then I didn't see in there at all. So
was there lack of gap integrity with our linebackers last game?
I'm just saying, if we have to depend on our linebackers to fill in the hole for the D line, we might be in some trouble with the Patriots, because the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, they have a run by committee running back where they're using 3 different running backs, and we got gassed by the Chargers with 2 running backs.
This caller there.
Caller, you there?
He may have stepped away for a few.
Yes, sir.
So I did my 4 freebie on DraftKings here. One of them I have Jared Goff, Tyler Algier, Roshan Johnson, Michael Pittman, Ross St. Brown, Ayuk, Laporta, Flowers, Cowboys defense. Another one I took Josh Allen turned the ball over, Trevor Etienne, Johnson again, Diggs, Flowers, Nuka, Musgrave, Robinson, and Cowboys defense. Another one I took Lawrence, Johnson, Bigsby, Pittman, Kirk, Flowers, Laporta, Diggs, and the Cowboys D. And my final one was Goff, Johnson, Bigsby, St. Brown, Metcalf, Flowers, Laporta, Pittman Jr., and Cowboys.
Jesus, you had the Cowboys defense for all of them. Jesus Christ. Choose a different defense for at least
The
for one of
Jets
them.
suck.
Who said that?
Yeah, interestingly enough, they didn't ridiculously price the Cowboys defense either. It's only the second most expensive defense, I think, this week.
Yep.
Which is odd.
Oh, what were you
That said
saying,
the Jets suck?
Mr. Polk, about what I was taught?
No. What I was saying is that if we have to depend on our linebackers to fill in the holes for the D line to stop the we all know that. I mean, even I know that the Patriots gonna have a 3 running back committee, and if we got to depend on our linebackers to fill in the stop the gashing, we might be in a little trouble because I didn't see too much with David Long, even though he might have had a bad day, and Jerome, and then Shannon Taylor in there at all. So
with our linebackers last game against the Chargers, did we have a lack of gap integrity? Or is that why you're worried?
Yes, we did, Anthony. According to several people that have watched the film and reported on it, yes, absolutely. We had a serious problem with linebackers hitting the wrong gaps. In actuality.
But how do y'all see Fangio straightening that? I mean, I'm asking anybody on the panel. How do you see Fangio correcting that?
Again, I'm not clear on what Fangio's coaching method is behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be some kind of accountability.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see a lot more of David Long this week. Okay. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's left to be seen. But I believe he's going to play, and he's going to play. You're going to get a full dosage of him. And in my mind, I've been saying this because I saw signs of it earlier. You're going to need better play from Raekwon Davis. The days of Raekwon Davis invisibility are over. He needs to show up in the middle of this defense and hold his anchor down. Period. If you get that, if we get an anchor in the middle, then the overall defense is going to play better around him.
Yeah, and I've said this with Raekwon KP.
Yeah,
I think his height is a detriment to him with getting leverage. That's why.
Yeah,
it's not that he doesn't.
Tall.
He's in the wrong position. He's really he's another kind of defensive tackle. You know, he reminds me more of a Calais Campbell.
Calais?
Yeah. I mean, I know Calais Campbell is a classic defensive end, right? But Raekwon Davis is long enough to project on the outside as a big. Remember, Reggie White was a big, huge defensive end. You know, and I'm not saying that he's in anywhere in the class of Reggie White. I don't mean to do it, but he's an interesting player with the size he brings to the position, but it doesn't necessarily, like you correctly pointed out, translate into a nose tackle, you know, who might be 6'2" and 320 and be able to hold his spot, hold that anchor down in the middle of a defense.
He's like a
Vince. He's not a Vince Wilfork.
Right. Not Larry Chester.
No, and I think he's more of a 3 tech, not a 0 tech. Like our fan base, he can't be straight up with the center. He doesn't have the strength to be constantly throughout the game head up with the center. He should be in the gaps between the center and the guard. And my comparison for him, I always said he was Too Tall Jones. KP, remember Too Tall?
Yep. Well, that's the thing. You do have a couple guys like that in the league now, like DeForest Buckner is a tall interior defensive lineman,
but he's a freak athlete.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Jones is kind of angular too, you know. But those guys aren't going to hold the point of attack like you need somebody in his position to do at this stage.
What's the last defensive tackle you can remember that was his height, that was successful in the league, that had a long career, that was able to produce?
That's tough.
Is Akeem Hicks a nose tackle?
I don't think he's ever been a nose tackle.
He's a 3 tech. He's a 3-tech, Mr. Polk.
So, Greg. So, Greg, I got
I
I've only completed my Guinness lineup for the Guinness one, right? And I got Greg still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right. So I got Jordan Love, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne Jr., Deebo Samuel, Tutu Atwell, Jaden Reed from the Green Bay Packers, George Kittle, Keenan Allen in the flex, and the Cowboys defense.
That sounds good.
What app?
I'm surprised you didn't choose any of the. I'm surprised you're not going to choose, like, depending on who the Packers play, you should choose like a Musgraves or their other rookie tight end. What's his name?
Well, I've got a very specific. Well, first of all, Kittle's going to be involved in a divisional game this week. He always shines in those games. And secondly, as far as Jaden Reed with the Packers, I had only, with the lineup that I have, I only had, bottom of the barrel receivers to choose from for my last spot. And the reason I chose, the reason I chose Jaden Reed from Green Bay is that they have demonstrated that they plan to use him the way that we use Tyreek Hill in our game plan with, short motion plays and big wheel fly routes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
I think
all I need is a touchdown out of him, and I'm good.
I think also Christian Watson is questionable. So Reed might
he's
again. I'm not. Again, it's the spot that I have left open for that is 3,400. That's there. I'm not going to get a Christian Watson. So the comparison is between other receivers that are only 3,400.
How about
are you guys
Albert
using
Wilson?
Underdog Fantasy or DraftKings or what?
The lineup I just did was for the DraftKings free tournament that's sponsored by Guinness. They've got 3 others, so there's four free tournaments total that you can enter.
See,
one of them has $1,000 top prize. So
see, color. It's weird. They say it's a free tournament, but they don't clarify it's only free for the people who already signed up. I try to do one of those tournaments.
No, it's free. It's free if you're a DraftKings account user. If you have a DraftKings user account, yes, it's free.
Okay. Want to give a big shout out to my guy Martin Brown in the building, in the chat.
Well,
this guy is one of the best fishermen of the Florida Keys. If you ever down in the Florida Keys, you need somebody to show you how to fish the bridges and get at the snapper and all the grouper and all the species of Florida Keys. That guy Martin Brown in the chat, holler at him, man. He will hook you up. He'll put you on the fish for sure.
By the way, Anthony, the reason they want you to have an account so they can verify your age and your location.
Yeah.
And so they can give you the money when you win.
Exactly.
Like, if I were to win this week, I'm withdrawing that and I'm putting it in my bank account.
There it is. You can't lose doing that.
And it's free, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, obviously, free means you're giving all your personal information to Guinness. You have to
No, I
check the box for their whatever their waiver is. You know what I mean?
That way they can auction it off to China.
No,
right.
I hit the play for free. I don't hit the little box. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but
If you win, you have to donate DNA to Guinness. Your second child will be
It's
used
just
for.
some of the free ones have a disclaimer. That's all, so that you can't sue Guinness for whatever might come by whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, man. Any other DFS? Come on up, guys. Come on up, or you can leave your question in the chat. We'll address it there. Again, we do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. Everything fantasy, whether it's your fantasy football leagues, whether it's your DFS talk. Bring your questions. We chop it up. Like you on those legal advice channels and all those shows. For when you get stock tips, we're not legally binded. Everything we say is opinion based. So please don't sue us if you're a fantasy lineup.
Everything is for
responsibly.
Everything we say is for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only. That's it.
That sounds like the seal of approval.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I wouldn't necessarily suggest you take my advice, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No. If you ever listen to Color break down the DFS lineups, man, last year we had a great time putting together lineups on the Millie Maker. He knows what he's talking about. So,
and for me, it's timing. Like all the stuff that I do right just ain't right for that particular week. It's only a matter of time before I nail it, man.
That's right.
So I have nailed it before. Again, I took first place in a showdown lineup between the Jags and the Dolphins back when we played them in London a couple years ago. And my differentiator, my sleeper, if you will, was Mac Hollins. And I credit my inside knowledge as a Dolphins fan for being able to formulate that lineup the way I did, which took first place in a small tournament.
So yeah,
I like
exactly.
that
So
guy,
when Color gives you advice, I want you to take this in consideration.
They've done studies,
Oh shit!
Time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Oh shit! FSU's in trouble.
What happened?
Yeah, quarterback
Jordan
went
Travis
down.
is hurt.
Well, they were in trouble the moment they chose garnet and gold as their
he back
team
up.
colors.
He's back up.
Who got hurt?
Jordan Travis, the quarterback, he's down right now.
No, he's back
I don't know
up.
if he's gone up or not.
He's back up.
All right, then he's back up. You must be ahead of me then.
They were in trouble the first time they ever played the Hurricanes.
Well, right now they're if I'm not mistaken, they're 7 points ahead of Boston.
Boston College, yep.
Oh, it's garnet and gold. It's garnet and gold versus garnet and gold. Oh, that's got to be the most ugly thing I've ever seen on TV.
No, but here's the thing, Florida State don't have on the gold. They have on the garnet and white.
Oh,
I don't know if this is a throwback.
They're going 49ers style. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Ball?
Yeah, because I don't know if this is their old.
It looks like his ankle.
Uniform. I'm not too sure.
They got a big game at Death Valley next week.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, but Tuneers are FSU's fans today because they don't want Brian Flores' alma mater to win.
No, I want BC to win.
Wow.
My friend's at the game, and I live near him.
The hate goes that deep, huh, Shake?
Yeah.
So I just signed up for Underdog to try it, and it's actually making me draft for this week.
Wow.
There's like 8 guys in it, and you do a draft for just.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know what I got to draft. Like,
do what? Wait, what? Wait, what? What were you saying, Rooch?
It makes you draft a team for that week only against
other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've done that before. You just got to draft.
I'm lost as to what you're referring to.
Is it just one player per position? Is all you draft?
No, I think you draft like 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a quarterback.
Are you talking about on DraftKings?
Yeah, like there's a counter. There's like I'm up in 3 picks.
No, Color. This is Underdog.
Yeah,
this is a
Underdog.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
where's that at? That's what I'm saying. Where's that at?
I just Googled Underdog or put it in the App Store, Underdog Fantasy.
Oh, it's a like a Underdog as a company, like a site.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that the one TD advertises?
I think he did that one.
I thought he was doing Mojo or something.
He does that. He does BET.
Ron BC score.
Hey, KP, I can tell you how deep the hate is. They don't like FSU either because it starts with floor.
Damn.
All right, Patrick Mahomes or Patrick
crazy.
Mahomes or Josh Allen. I got 30 seconds.
Josh Allen, the Raiders suck. I don't know about Mahomes and against the Jaguars.
I'm betting on Mahomes. Super Bowl pedigree, Super Bowl champ. Needs the W. I'm rolling with Mahomes.
Yeah. Over Trash Allen?
Yeah, Trash Allen's going down, man.
I'm just giving my opinion.
Or should I say, AKA Phillip Rivers.
Come on, he's being held.
I had 2 back-to-back. I got Josh Allen and Calvin Ridley is who I got.
That's a good pick.
Tony Pollard's gone.
I think I did
Ridley,
a stupid trade. I think I did a stupid trade yesterday, but we'll see.
What'd you do?
I traded Montgomery from Detroit to the running back in Arizona. Colin, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know because he's still up in the air, but I don't. They were about average, but
yeah, that might be a wash. Even a fair trade to a wash matters because you never know which week your running back's going to go off and have the advantage that week, and that matters. That counts. When they have those performances is just as important as how regular or consistent they are in having good performances. I mean, a guy could give you like a tremendous performance 2 weeks and make you win those 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks are the ones who carry you in the playoffs. So
right.
Well, that's also the tough part about daily fantasy is that you'll be on a guy and he'll do nothing for you, and the second you go off of him, he'll have a big day.
Exactly, timing is everything.
Versa,
timing is everything.
I did that with Akers last year when I had Akers. Fuck yeah, I took him out because he wasn't doing shit, and then he came back and a fucking vengeance. I was like, you motherfucker. I said I'm gonna kick you straight in the nuts when I see you.
Yeah, that happens, man. Yeah, what's up, Miss Robinson? Welcome to the chat, Letitia Robinson. Come on up, man. If you have a question, if you have a comment on anything fantasy, come on up.
Oh, it's been a while. She was around last season, man. I remember Letitia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say.
1.5.
I'm putting Herbert in over Tua this week.
That's not a bad move.
It's not an unwise move.
No, because I mean Tennessee's is missing their main defensive guy. I forgot his name. So he's not going to be playing.
I would look for both. I would look for both to have a big day. So the question is, which of those two defenses, i.e., coaches, shuts down one of them?
Yeah.
And it's more likely that Belichick gives Tua a hard time than it is Tennessee's defense giving Herbert a hard time.
Because that's what I was going on. So in case any of you two-and-ears want to jump my shit, that was my reasoning.
That doesn't mean he thinks that Belichick's going to give Tua a hard time. He's just making the calculus that one is more likely to happen than the other.
Yeah, man.
Just saying.
Death threats now. They're going to send you death threats now, bro.
Hey, they've done it, man. They wished COVID on my whole family, my grandmother, mom, everybody.
Shout out to Natasha
They're
Robinson.
ruthless.
What's up? Shout out to Natasha Robinson. Nene, what's going on, Natasha?
Oh, that is Nene. Okay.
Yeah.
Nene.
What's up, man?
Wow, it's Nene.
Shout out to Nene.
Hey, Nene, I stand with you, Nene.
Lance, it's only pertinent that you just said what you said, by the way, since Nene's in the chat.
That's right. That's right, Carl.
Well, I was thinking Nene. Wasn't there a Nene on Martin Lawrence?
Oh, you talking about Shanae?
No, that's Shanae. That's Shanae.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, this Nene is not nothing like the Shanae.
Yeah, this Nene is a lawyer or aspiring lawyer, and she's got solid takes overall on the Dolphins. She's well thought out, expressed opinions on the Dolphins.
Hey, don't sue me for defamation. Didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's cool people. She's good people.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it alone. I was gonna say something, but I said let me hold that one back, man.
I'm gonna check myself.
Look at Scummy. Have we cut to it yet? Come on, now.
What's Scummy say?
Have we cut to it yet?
Just click on the link. You click on this link that's below your name, and just click on there, and you could come on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Hey, Scummy better be careful, man. He's going to end up with mercury in one of his drinks down there in Germany.
Oh, he's way. Oh, hey, you don't know. 2-on will get you in Germany. It no matter.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't hide. You can't run. You can't hide.
It's worldwide. It's worldwide.
Hold on. Is that my girl Nene in the chat?
Nene's in his house.
Man.
Nope.
Miami Central's finest.
Miami Central's finest. There you go.
If she needs to come up, I jump off if she needs to come up.
Exactly, Mr. Clapp.
Who?
3 turnovers? Holy shit. And they're not up by more?
Hey, that Colorado game's that's at 10 o'clock tonight, right?
Yep. It's personal.
Yeah.
It's personal.
My mama told me to take off my hat when I'm in company. What did the coach say? Some foolishness.
Yeah, some bull junkie.
Yeah, I take off my hat and my glasses when I'm talking to adults, is what he said.
Some bull junkie.
Yeah.
Take off your hat and glasses to go to what's the dots?
With adults.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, we got a special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only. What's up?
Just keep it with Nene, so I have to use
KK.
one of my Gmails so it has my real name. I don't go by Nene outside of Twitter.
Yeah, I understand.
I hear you.
But,
Good afternoon.
Look at my girl.
Welcome
Look at my girl Nene in the building.
Well, yeah.
Good afternoon, Nene.
I'll be honest with you. I was just in a space with some of the individuals, and I can't lie. I stood as long as I could in there, and I just couldn't do it, man.
Hey.
You know.
They don't deserve your time, Nene. They don't deserve your
I mean,
time.
they didn't do anything. It's just, when you think, like some of y'all on my page, I shared the story about my mom, and it's been difficult. It's been a difficult couple of days because now that was a trigger for me, if that makes sense.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey, but shout out to you, Lewis, man, for bringing this to our attention. And hey, by the way, I already announced you're gonna be in the Smoke Lounge this Wednesday, man. It's gonna be a great show. Can't wait for that to happen.
Well, I wanted to say that's why I came up to speak. You guys had me in tears laughing on certain parts, and then just total respect for my service. You guys were correct. It was 21 years in the military and 2 combat deployments where I lost a couple of friends. So when you hear people, and I just got to assume that they're young. I went in 20-some years ago, right when 9/11 happened. So, when they don't understand, like we were at war for almost 20 years.
What branch?
With being service members, and then you have someone disrespect that. And just let y'all know what my degree is in, because I heard you say I'm doing 2 concentrations. I'm in divinity school and I'm also in law school at the same time. So
damn.
I'm pretty serious about my education. So a lot of times when I come into spaces, that's my way to break away from
Absolutely
all of the reading and everything I got to do with my degree. So
what branch were you in?
I was in the Army, and I spent the majority of my career where I ended up retiring at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So I worked as in charge of the food service program on the Special Forces side. So yeah,
I got stuck at Fort Riley for a little bit.
Yeah, I was at Fort Riley. That was actually, unfortunately, my last duty station.
I was in the Navy and they stuck me at Fort Riley.
Yeah, well, Fort Riley there's nothing there. But I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm not going to spend all day on it, but
yeah,
I just wanted to thank y'all for y'all amazing words, especially after all of the things that I read that was said about me, to have equally as much support verbally on your show last night. I definitely appreciate you standing for women of color, service members, And then the other thing too that I felt was attacked is that I'm a Christian. So I don't do the whole cursing out, threatening your family. I don't judge people that do that, but I don't conduct myself that way when I speak to people.
Yeah.
Try to speak to them with respect and as adults. So I appreciate, especially Lewis, you were the most passionate, but some of you other guys were very emotional about what happened, where some people still don't have any feelings. There's still some threats coming my way, which
Right.
is fine. Which is
Which,
fine.
hey, but
well,
I
I'm
stand by
so
my words. I stand by my words. I guarantee you, if they were face to face with you, none of them will be saying what they're
well,
saying.
I'm so
absolutely.
confused. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
Well, I don't think we have to get into it right now.
Was
I
it
just want
was it one of the normal freaking
to,
attack
yeah,
one person
it,
because of their views on
Yeah,
football thing?
well, it's
Okay.
one
exactly,
person.
Roach. You got it, Roach.
And that's why I'm a
It's a
Jaguar fan now, just so y'all know.
yeah, it's people and then multiple people. It's the goons of Twitter, because there are some good guys on Twitter as well. But Nene, listen again. Now that we're here and you're on YouTube, you're making your first appearance. I think I can speak for this great host that we have, Color Commentary, that he was one of the originators of this channel. Shake Money, KP, as long as myself, that are all members of the Finish Tailgate over here on YouTube. Nene, you always have this platform whenever the hell you want it to come up here and talk Dolphins and speak your mind.
And let me
And
just
then
add to that.
hold on.
Okay, go
Before
ahead,
y'all
Danny.
get into that, somebody had a question. So divinity school is basically the precursor of seminary. So the ministry. So if you didn't know what divinity school is, about the ministry. So my degree is more into the form of Martin Luther King. He was a minister and he was also a lawyer. So I hope I answered that question because someone did not know what divinity school was.
Right. And let me just follow that up and say that the thing is with Nene is this, guys. Attacks aside, doxing aside, insults aside, Nene is the kind of Dolphin fan that everybody, I would hope everybody is like her. She has takes, she has her opinions, she expresses them with no drawbacks, no pullbacks. And that's all you can ask for in this community. We're a diverse community. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different opinions on a bunch of different stuff, but she has always been totally respectful to the people she talks to day in and day out. She's just a solid person all the way around. And like Lewis said, anytime I have a platform, Dana, you're more than welcome to come on there. And I enjoy listening to you, and I've learned from your takes just as much as I've enjoyed them. So just want to give you your props and maximum respect. You know what I'm saying? We got your back.
Well, and look at and check this out, Nene, for what we did. Right, look, I just heard this man's voice again. I want to give a proper introduction. Nene, we have a couple OGs that come up here. Mr. Park is one of them. And when Mr. Park heard our kind of rant, what we were talking about last night, your story and what was going on with you, he kind of reached out to Shake Money. He's kind of reached out to me. I have him up here with us now. Mr. Park, this is Nene. Nene, this is Mr. Park. But I think Mr. Park would like to say something to you. Or he has some words for you. So go ahead, Mr. Park. You got the floor.
Miami Killian got two Killian Cougars on your side, Nene. Two Killian Cougars.
For real.
Hope, man.
And
I
then
did
they are
graduate from Miami Central Senior High. You know, the 4-time state champ, maybe 5 this year.
Now, Nene, stop that, Nene. Stop that.
They got that kid. They got that kid Armando Blanc. He gonna bring it home. He will.
Nah, go ahead, Mr. Park.
No, Nene, I feel you because I've had close, how should I say, I've had experiences dealing with women being and physically abused. I actually broke up a guy who was physically abusing a woman and what have you, and it really touched my heart. And I'm one of those who stand up for women's rights, and I'm also a Christian too. So I understand what you're going. I kind of have a feeling what you're going through, and I'm one that really speaks up for that. So we'll talk more about that on future shows.
Oh, thank you. I mean, to all the negativity, there was a lot of positivity. There's some people I had to tell them I don't want any violence in any way. I don't condone that at all. And that was my whole point to what went on. There's different ways to communicate without insulting people and disrespecting them as human beings. But like I said, once my mother was brought up into this, my dead mother who was murdered, that is still sensitive. And, you know, to have someone go that low and putting my picture with a monkey on top of that as an African American woman, that was also a trigger. So, you know, you learn that no matter where you go, people are going to be people. But I will say this to the community, because I know there's probably people in the chat that don't agree with my takes. That's fine. We're not here to put always to agree. But what I would require is to disagree respectfully. We don't need the personal attacks. We don't need all of that. I'm 40 years old and I'm not in any gang. I see that the fan base for the most part is divided. I think, and I heard in the YouTube, you can go on Twitter and see 10 different Dolphin spaces because not everyone gets along. And I just think that's kind of crazy, because if we win a Super Bowl, all 10 of those spaces should be happy, because the goal is the Miami Dolphins and winning a Super Bowl the first time in 50 years. So I'm not going to hold up the space with that. I know on Wednesday we're going to discuss a lot more of the situation. But I just wanted to stop in because I can't lie, that YouTube clip, it brought me to tears. I never met any of you in person, but you fought for me like I was your sister, your daughter, and that was just amazing. So thank you all that was a part of that. I didn't know what was going on, and I happened to listen to it, and I was already emotional because it made me think about what happened to my mom. But thank you guys for being great men and looking out for me. And like I told everybody, I wasn't perfect. Maybe I could have walked away when it was intensified. That, to me, I always look at ways to de-escalate. Maybe when I saw that, they started putting the pictures up and they wouldn't take it down, maybe that was just best for me to walk away and be honest, pray for them. Because that at some point with people, all you gotta do is pray for them, because nothing's gonna change them but God. But I'm gonna leave that. And I'm
real quick, Nene, before you jet, could you give us an update? Because I heard you mention real briefly yesterday, I believe, or the day before. But can you give us an update on what's going on with the little debacle down there in Dade County with the schools and the one principal wanting to ban people from or escort people out of the stadium and all that for filming the games?
Yes. And as y'all know, I am in law school and we are getting these guys some justice. So we kind of conspired a plan to go against that individual that was removing people. By law, a parent can't consent their own, filming of their child. So what we're trying to do is get petitions signed in Miami-Dade County that specify that the groups that were kicked out of the games, that the parent or the guardian, if the person is 18, then they're no longer a minor technically. But if the person is 17 or 18, we would have a memo in place to present. I actually have a Zoom meeting with the superintendent of schools. I've been doing some work all the way from North Carolina, but that gentleman is going to get held accountable. Possibly the principal at Miami Central is going to be accountable because he said some things on the record that are now questionable. But it's going to work in our favor. I'll keep you posted, but they are recording today. That part was, I guess, granted. So they're recording today, but we learned that the contract was expired. So he's enforcing something that wasn't even legal. So we're going to get more on that. And if anybody else want to help me with that, please send me a message, because, strength in numbers. And it's for the kids. These kids, like I told you guys, I went to school with Willis McGahee. I know Dalvin Cook. I know James Cook. And I know how football removed them from the area that we all grew up in. And now, I almost cried seeing James Cook and Dalvin Cook on national TV, even though they were playing for two teams I hate. But to see them in the NFL, it's just a blessing that these kids need the exposure. It shouldn't be about adults making money off of kids, which is ridiculous. But yeah, we're gonna get a
appreciate you keeping us up to date on that.
Before you go, I just wanted to say thank you guys for giving me an opportunity here. I don't know what happened with you personally. This is Miss Vince, by the way. good afternoon. It's morning for me, but good afternoon to you. I don't know why, but the spaces on Twitter, they're so toxic. It's like I could only hear for a little bit and then I gotta get out of there. But I will tell you this: as being one of the ladies in football, I definitely appreciate your take. And whatever other personal thing they've done or attacked you on, you just have to be like Teflon, just let it go and definitely I'm glad you finally found a home here with TFTG. They're awesome. You're gonna always get great content over here and a great support. You know what I mean? I mean, Color and I had thought about it yesterday. It's great when you have a great support like these guys here. So you definitely found the right place on YouTube, and it's not as toxic. It actually is not even toxic, but it is definitely a lot of fun over here on YouTube. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't even have I don't even have Twitter anymore or X or whatever. And really, TikTok's becoming the same way.
Yeah.
I was on TikTok yesterday. The shit they were calling, I was like, damn.
Well,
It's as bad as
Nene. Usually the infighting over here in the YouTube streets is more of your traditional. Well, it's more of your traditional business attacks. If you catch my drift, you know what I mean? Because YouTube is a platform meant for an individual to be able to broadcast themselves. So there's money to be made in that. And so a lot of the conflicts on YouTube are more behind the scenes business type conflicts between different YouTubers. You're not going to get and we're all competing to provide good content for an audience. So that ends up, that competition behind the scenes, despite it being a pain in the rear for us creators, it actually ends up strengthening the content that we're providing to the audiences. It ends up creating a certain amount of professionalism, so look, we just want to be we want everybody to be welcome here. And when I say that, I more mean not that everybody's welcome. What it is that everybody should feel welcomed here. And if you're not feeling welcomed here, we're going to address it. You know what I mean? And whether it be by a person that is irredeemable that has to be bounced, or whether it be somebody answering for themselves if they attack somebody in the personal manner that you were. You know what I mean? So
let's just be clear.
You can always trust that here. We'll have our transgressions.
Well,
we're
let's
humans
just be
too.
clear.
You know what I mean? But to be clear, we want to provide an atmosphere here that everybody should feel welcome to be at.
Well, let's just be clear here, Color. What happened with Nene the other day, the attacks on her were well over the line. And it's even more disappointing to see that there are some African-American members who participated and added on to what I was exposed to, what I saw happen.
Well, I'm not a virtue signaler, so I appreciate you guys speaking on that aspect of it. I can't take offense on your behalf. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's wrong to me. But
absolutely. That's even more disappointing.
I agree with your sentiment. You know what I mean?
But beyond that, beyond that, Nene, I want, I'm sure you're not surprised. Miami is a community that kind of reflects what you were talking about earlier. You know how we have 7 different Dolphin communities on Twitter? It almost seems like there's 7 different Miamis. We're one of the most segregated communities in America still, residentially. So I know that's changing slowly.
Amazing, isn't it?
Surprising. And then last thing, on a more positive note, Miss Nene, I know you went to school with McGahee and those guys, that whole generation. But I wonder if you go as far back as to remember like a guy like Najee Davenport, who's one of the most forgotten great running backs from recent Miami history. He was a great one. I want to give Najee Davenport his props. Everybody forgets about him, but he was a record-breaking, awesome, great running back out of Miami Central in the mid-90s.
He graduated
he was a big back at that.
I want to say 97. His mother actually taught at Miami Central, and I was in her class I think she was a sub, but to the point, and I'm reading some of the comments, to the point of the division. I don't think it's just a Twitter thing. Even if you look in our country, there's division. I say that the real gang members are the Democrats and Republicans. They're the Bloods and Crips of our country right now. We can't get along about anything, So I don't think it's just a Twitter thing. But like I said,
You're
with me,
you're right. Twitter is the symptom of the larger problem in society. You're absolutely right.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but I've been trying to get a hold of crypto for 2 days about this trade.
He's in the back.
Crypto's right here.
No, I brought him up.
Oh, he's here.
Roach, what exactly?
I'm trying to trade you a starting quarterback for the Jets. Zach Wilson.
Hold on, guys. Before we had a talk, though, but Nene was.
I'll take your
starter. Nene, you were making a point.
I don't want to interrupt this, and I do. Before I go, Miss Fins, I wish you a happy birthday yesterday. I don't know if you got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, it was such a awesome, crazy day. I didn't go to this is my morning. I woke up 20 minutes ago, so I just woke up to listening to you guys, and it was great. So I haven't had a chance to go back and thank everybody, but thank you, Nene. I really appreciate it because.
Because you invited me to your platform a while ago, but like I tell you, between law school and then I do things in the community, because for some people know, when I was in the military, I was one of President Obama's personal chefs. So I do culinary arts teaching in the community here where I'm at. So I'm always busy. And like I said, when you see me on Twitter, that's usually just my breakaway, just to talk about the Miami Heat, Dolphins, whatever. It kind of keeps me balanced, if that makes sense. And
I get it, trust me.
I didn't expect all of that, foolishness. But people gonna be people. I'm still moving forward, and I just want us to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly, Nene. No, listen, I appreciate it. Like I told you, you're always welcome over here with Miss Fins. I'm working on getting an all ladies panel too. I heard you're gonna be going with Shake Money. So hopefully your next stop after him is gonna be with me and Miss Fins. So, wait, what am I talking about? That wasn't myself. Anyways, sorry, I'm at my show.
Yeah, just invite me. They invited me, so I said yes. So if you invite me, I have no reason to decline. But I don't want to monopolize this, because I know y'all have a fantasy thing.
No, we appreciate it though. Now that you know how easy it is to use that StreamYard link, that was the first step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got that down.
You always welcome, Nene.
Want to see you more often. Come up more often.
Yeah. It is toxic in Twitter, because I feel like people, when you come over here to YouTube, to Color's point, you kind of have to show your face, or at least your name. You know what I mean? You know it's recorded, even though over there it's recorded. But here it's kind of a little bit more in your face. Over there, people still hide between, shadow names and whatever. And it's cowardice. That's all I have to say. Nobody deserves.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. YouTube is it's a show here. We're trying to put on a show.
Adam.
So, we're showing ourselves, and we do get a little more insulated from that direct interaction where people can just be like, this and that about your family or whatever. But we learned really quickly that doesn't make for a good show. So we shut that kind of stuff down pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's no point in it here, because our audience will just leave. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And everybody knows Miss Fins is family friendly content anyway. So for me, people respect the show and the platform. So you're not going to see that. And I appreciate everybody up here, because they know, and the fans know, and that's why you want out of your content over here on YouTube.
Yeah, and that don't mean that two grown men won't rub each other the wrong way and go at it once in a while. But we let it ride out, and if it gets to the point where, it don't get to the point where, look, if two guys are wanting to start to get physical with each other, it usually gets to the point of moderation in the respect that, okay, guys, let's have a sanctioned boxing match somewhere, go meet in a gym and get it done. Leave us all out of it. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, again, Nene, no, I don't want nobody to think the space she hosted yesterday was amazing. And what we did here yesterday, and there was other guys, shout out to them. There's too many to name. I did see the support going on yesterday for Nene on the Twitter side as well. But what we did here yesterday, I just want Nene to know. I mean, listen, it's all about her today. We're giving her flowers a day. But Nene, just know, I'm still on your ass if you get out of pocket.
True.
Nene is again. I said it yesterday. She's a very strong. I won't even say color wise. She's just a very strong woman. So again, first time I met her, I tell the story all the time. First time I had an interaction with Nene, we were going at it, and I promise you, Nene, we're probably going to go at it again. But you know, it's all out of love. I think that I understand on your end, it's coming back with love. And I just want you to know, Nene, again, today's about you and your flowers, but I still am on your ass. Just know that.
Hey, to that point, so with Lewis' story, there's another part of it. His debate was he felt like I was being negative. And then after I evaluated the situation, I came back on the space and I said, you know what, Lewis, you were right. I could have looked at that from a different perspective. And I just hope that's what people do. You're not always right all the time. Sometimes take a breath.
Truth.
And hear what someone, because like I used to tell my soldiers, you're not listening to me. You're just waiting for me to shut up so you can say your point again. We got to be active listeners to what people are saying. Because sometimes in those spaces, if you pay attention, you're arguing the same point. You're not really disagreeing. You're just disagreeing in a different way. If you just step back and see it, we're actually agreeing here. So why are we fighting and trying to meet somewhere to box when we actually are saying the same thing? So that was one thing about Lewis. I think I earned his respect because I came back on and I said, you know what? I was wrong on how I took it. Because I was in another space where his example applied. I was like, oh, this person is just being negative. They're not looking at it. And then I was like, you know what? Lewis was right. Let me find him. Let me apologize and go forward. And I think that's how our relationship got better.
Listen,
And that's what real people do.
respect. Well, just because I wanted to be very clear though, I didn't respect Nene because she said she apologized. Because in all realness, I think I should have apologized because maybe I don't think she was being negative. I think she was just, again, very strong in her opinions, right? She believes in them. She stands on them. She's 10 toes down. For me, the kind of person I am and how I was raised and I brought up and how I move in this community, I stand 10 toes down. So, Nene, you didn't earn my respect with the apology. I could care less about that. Again, I'm not here to change your opinion or make you agree with me. My respect came from, again, that's why I love Miss Fins. I love Miss Pam as a woman, right? Because we're all fans. Fans come in all colors, shapes, sizes, genders, whatever. The fact of the matter is, when I see Miss Finn hop on a panel with, let's say, 8 or 9 gentlemen, she holds her own. Same thing with Miss Pam. Same thing with Nene. Your respect, Nene, earned with me when we can have a debate, leave as some adults, whether we agree or not. But a good, healthy debate, bro, listen, this is what I live for. Because at the end of the day, I would love to think that I know everything, but I know I don't. The only way we're going to get better as a society, community, fans, is if whether we agree or disagree, but let's learn off each other. So, Nene, I just wanted to throw that out there. You didn't earn my respect, sweetheart, by telling me you're sorry. You earned my respect when you sat there and we debated and going back and forth with a healthy conversation. That's where my respect was earned for you.
Keyword healthy conversation. And I wish people did that more often, how we did when we were kids. Back then debate was just natural, and you didn't have to get personal. Nowadays, you can't even say something without someone attacking you. Someone lost the argument when they go into personal attacks. It happens every time. And that's what you deal with in today's society.
Well,
Back
Twitter
then,
allows for that.
that didn't happen.
No,
Twitter
actually not
definitely
just
allowed.
Twitter, but it's society, period. Because society is allowing too many things to go too far, and that's what I hate to say it, that's what it kind of boils down to. But it doesn't have to keep doing it. All it takes is 1 or 2 or 3 or more people to say, you know what, this is not right. Let's correct it and let's get on the right track. That's
That's
what
true.
it takes.
That's true
It's all
too.
about respect. At the end of the day, it's all about respect.
Exactly. Different.
Yeah.
And none of us are the same. We are all different individuals. We see the world different. We see the NFL different. We see the Miami Dolphins different. But it's called respect. And there's some people know more than others, but still respect each person. Period.
Mr.
That's
Paul
all
brings
you
up
have
a
to do. It
very
don't take much
important
for
point.
that.
Listen, Mr. Paul brings up a very important point, which has been lost on. It's what defines our society today as different from previous iterations, in that today more people are too scared to stand up and speak out. And what he just pointed out is something that we need to bring back. When something is going wrong, you might be afraid to stand up by yourself, but if you get 2 or 3 others, 4 or 5 others, together we stand up and we call it out and we put an end to it.
There's one word that describes all of that that's lacking in today's day and age. Integrity.
Integrity and courage. Yep.
Integrity.
You know, I understand debates
Mhm.
might even get to the personal level where a person might say to me, "Oh, well, Color, you're a complete idiot. Your IQ must be 50 if you have that take." Well, that's sort of a personal attack, but it's still also kind of in the lines of banter if I'm bantering with a friend. I think that's another thing is as we continue to open up our private lives more publicly in this paradigm, people assume that you can get away with certain stuff, and there's also those bad actors that veil true personal attacks in the form of banter. Oh, I can get away with this because we're just, don't take it too hard, Color. You're the one taking it hard. I was only this and that. No, you were insulting me. You know what I mean? And I'm calling it out. There's times when people can tell me I'm a complete idiot and I'm perfectly fine with it. There's other times and other people that could call me a complete idiot and we're going to war.
Right.
You know, it just is the way it is. And those lines are getting blurred and blurred more and more because of the fact that people, as the younger generation grows up being used to having their family extended to the entire planet as far as their private life goes, it becomes easier for people to become more solipsist and not take into consideration other people's minds and souls and how it may affect them. You know what I mean? So there's that. And, you know, the way to change it is just integrity. I mean, but again, there's a difference between that even and the personal level of, you know, making a meme out of somebody and plastering it all over Twitter and going at their family members and stuff like that. I mean, that is a whole nother level that is unacceptable anywhere. And if anybody's afraid to stand up against that, tell me, and I'll give you my platform and support you 100% to say whatever you got to say to this public.
Right.
To Nenny's point, you have to pray for those people. To Nenny's point earlier, those are the people you have to pray for, because hurt people really do hurt people. And it breaks down to that level.
That's something Capitan taught me when I first started with this gig. You know, he always drives it home to me. Look, these people, the superficial ones, the ones that come at me in chat, the ones that I've grown relationships with over time in this chat, even if they still disagree with all my takes, and they know who they are in chat. But Capitan always said, even the ones coming at you personal, they're in need of something. And you just got to figure out what that is. What is that hole that they need, that they have, that's being filled, that they're lashing out at you because of? You know what I mean?
Exactly. But you know what? It takes
Some people just need a friend. Some people just need a friend, and they don't conduct themselves in a good way because they're so alone. They're so lonely or whatever. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
And guys, I didn't want to switch the mood because I'm looking at the chat and people want to, I guess, move on to what y'all came to do. But I thank you guys, and you know, I'm so happy to meet the rest of these people. I think KP, I need him to add me or follow me because I got
the thanks is always with you, Nene. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do, Nene, for sure. I'm not. Listen, I'm 48, going on 49, and you know, I haven't caught on to all the functions of social media and all this kind of stuff like everybody else. So you might need to add me. You know, I got to figure out how to add you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because when I was trying to, I think because I have Lewis and I have Crypto. Crypto's my guy. You know, if you push Crypto to the brink, it can get a little little gritty.
Crypto's funny. Crypto's funny though.
I don't
He has
bite.
a 0 to 60 on it. I'll be like, come on, Battle. Come on, calm down now.
Hey, but you had my back.
I
You
don't
had
bite
my back 2
nobody.
days ago. Crypto had my back 2 days ago. I'll give you that.
The brink for crypto is how you doing.
What's up, Big Nick? What's up, Big Nick? Welcome to the show.
What's going on? Hey, man,
Can me and Crypto
on?
hash out this
Big
trade real
Nick.
quick?
Nene, well, thank you for coming through, Nene. Really
Hey,
do
no
appreciate
problem.
that.
Again, thank you guys.
Thank you,
And you
Nene.
better
I'll
come
link
on my
up with
show
All right,
too, man.
Nene. Take
You
care.
better come on my
Take
show
it easy,
too.
Nene.
We'll
All right,
talk to
Nene.
you Wednesday.
Hey, don't let Lewis bully you, Nene.
This is the topic that get the short ass
Hey,
curled up tight.
can me and Crypto knock out this trade real quick? We've been
Yeah. They've been waiting.
Well, it looks like somebody got a bigger offer than you. They
Well, you
got
haven't
Jimmy
heard
G
my
on the
offer.
table.
You ever heard Jimmy G?
And Lewis and
Yeah.
Shake, thanks for
Here-
bring me up to Nene. I appreciate both
absolutely,
of y'all for that.
Lewis. Yeah,
And I
Lewis,
still
thanks
want
for
to
letting
speak
us
on
know.
that.
Agreed.
Right, because I still want to speak on that on Wednesday. So y'all please send me a notification just to remind me.
All right. So Crypto, what I'm offering, because
Hold on.
What?
Hold on,
What's
real
going
quick. I just want to super chat Crypto, whatever he's offering. I'm giving you Jimmy G. But go ahead. I had to get to that.
No, that's been up there for like 10 minutes.
I know, but I had to get to it because I
I'm
couldn't
messing with
interrupt
you.
everybody. All right. But go ahead.
So Crypto, I'm offering you Zach Wilson or Bryce Young. I don't care which one. And Quincy Williams because I noticed you had a corner starting on your defense, and he's only averaging. He's not gonna. He's not projected to do good for you. So Quincy's projected to get you 10 to 11 points. And
I'm good on the skill positions. Can you hear me?
You're good with your running backs, wide receivers, and defense because you got like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I got the Bills defense, and I got I got Adams, I got Lamb, and I got which is they playing each other this week. And then I got Cook and what's his name?
Well, Crypto.
I got the Bills Cook, and I got Brees Hall.
Yeah, but you also got 2 defensive players, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Crypto. You are so strong at the wide receiver position that you ought to. You could get rid of one of them guys to get a quarterback, man.
Not unless if it's a high caliber top 10 quarterback.
Don't let him call you Crypto. You don't need no stinking quarterback, man. We got
Crypto,
this.
Unfortunately, you're in a position. You're in a position right now, I think, where you might have to give up a higher type of. You might have to take an L on a trade, not a big L, but like a little L to get a starting quarterback.
No, that quarterback's gonna have to be a quality. If it's Jimmy G,
he's got to take an L, bro.
If he wants to get a starting quarterback, what are you going to offer?
I'm not getting Zach Wilson for none of those star players.
As long as you have Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb, as long as you have a healthy Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb, you're winning, Crypto.
Hey, by the way, shout out.
Right, I would need them both. I can give up maybe James Cook or Garoppolo.
Jerry Jeudy is the guy you ought to deal.
You don't want to give up
real
James
quick.
Cook.
Shout out to Adam
Pandia.
Hey, Jerry Jeudy. He said Zay Jones and what's his name? Right, Zay Jones. Is he starting this week?
Why would you Why would you want Zay Jones if you have Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah. Well, listen.
For those he's giving me Jimmy Garoppolo.
But real quick, shout out. Hold on.
But he's giving me Garoppolo. That's the key.
Shout out. We got to get the super chat real quick. Shout out to Adam Pandia.
That's actually a fair trade because he's at least giving me a quarterback and another receiver.
From the DB's drop off versus Zay Jones and Jimmy Garoppolo for Lamb. There you go. Here you go, Crypto.
Is Crypto's line
want another receiver?
Did we take it down? Okay.
No, he's asking for Lamb because I'll still have Adams and I'll have Garoppolo. That'll be a stack.
All I want is Brees Hall for one of my quarterbacks. That's all I'm asking. You can keep.
What's the other quarterback though?
What did I say? The Bryce Young.
You had Bryce Young, Zach Wilson, and who was the other guy?
Yeah, you're better off with Bryce Young, by the way.
And Roach. Come on now. Yeah. I mean, I tried to convince Crypto. Crypto only has 2 solid running backs. So I mean,
and then I
receivers
offered,
is where he
and
has
I
a
also,
plus.
and I also
should.
offered him to. I was going to take Janaris Sneed from him, and I was going to give him Quincy Williams, who almost doubles his points,
right,
to make up
right.
for
But
what he loses. Brees Hall.
If I'm Crypto, I'm not giving up any of my running backs because
no,
but it's a
running
receiver.
Running backs
especially
get
the way
injured
Dalvin
faster.
Cook was playing.
Well,
Right, and what's his name was playing too.
Running
I'm
backs
looking
get
at
injured
it like
faster.
this. He's getting 0 points for quarterback every week, right?
Yeah.
So if he gets
right, but
if he gets a quarterback,
keep
and
getting,
then you get
but his
Quincy Williams,
offers.
who's getting you tackles.
But
now
yeah,
you're
his
actually
offer
getting
is
more
strong
points
because
than you
he's
would for
giving me
Brees
a
Hall.
guy that already got the receiver throwing him the ball to.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's true.
That's what makes his offer more stronger because he's giving me the actual quarterback that's throwing one of my receivers the ball.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
Garoppolo and Adams.
Have
So
you
yeah,
looked to see what I got to make a counter offer or no?
To look what
KP,
you
would
got.
you say this is the wrong week to start Brees Hall?
I don't want to start Brees Hall this week.
No, this would be the perfect week because Zach Wilson probably not going to throw a single pass against Dallas.
Brees Hall's
Right, and Dallas awesome defense knows that, so they're going to key on the run.
They can key all they want, but it's all about blocking up front.
We're talking about Dallas defensive team against the Jets suspect offensive line. Not a good week to start Brees Hall.
It didn't look suspect against Espinoza and the Bills front seven. And Milano.
That's a real thing to consider, Big Nick.
The Bills have never been able to stop the run. That's not their forte.
Yep.
I just don't get why.
I mean, they still happen to be a top 5 defense of, in the top of the league in defense and giving up points.
Because is anybody else looking at his team right now, Cryptos? I see you have great wide receivers. You have good running backs. You need your defensive players a little low. One of them, the corner, and you need a quarterback.
Hey, Crypto, read that, Crypto.
Because your bench has
what?
Read that, Crypto. It's a super chat.
Yeah,
I'll throw
okay.
in DVP as an extra no cost.
He has
You're
5
welcome.
defensive players on his roster.
That might destroy the trade.
But he don't need more. He don't need more. Oh, Devontae
Extra no
Parker?
cost.
Yeah, he doesn't need locker room trouble.
But Crypto, you need to drop some of these defensive players, man. You got 5 defensive players on your bench.
So you guys aren't drafting whole defenses. You're drafting individually players.
Well, you get a whole defense. And you
both
get 2
individual
players.
Okay, because Dallas, I'm sorry to say, I hate them, but Dallas is the defense this week.
Yeah, this week.
I've got him in all my DFS lineups.
I've got him on all of mine.
Yeah, all of my FanDuel and all of my DraftKings.
I mean, I don't even think any given Sunday applies for the Jets this week.
The Jets suck.
Now,
and watch, this will be the kind of games that the Jets will win.
Now,
just
Crypto,
despite all the fun.
I could give you a quarterback with a matching tight end or a matching wide receiver, if you want that.
You said a matching quarterback.
So I got Zach Wilson. I got his tight end. I got Randall Cobb, one of his wide
They don't
receivers.
use tight ends too much in their offense.
And I got
like
Tyler
that.
Conklin.
You don't have none of his receivers. No.
No, Randall
I
Cobb.
don't see him throwing the ball. Zach Wilson is definitely not an option this week. I don't see him effectively throwing the ball.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, Randall Cobb.
I mean, he can. I mean, if they get a lot of interceptions.
Tomorrow.
I mean, Randall Cobb did take him under his wing the other night, and
they can do that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't need to do this. I was trying to help you by giving you a quarterback. That's all I was trying to do. But if you don't,
this is
you
great.
know, like, I feel like you're not like. I feel like I'm over here trying to give you like a meal.
The war room on
TFTG.
TFTG.
Meal in the trash is what I feel like.
Hey, can anybody hear me? I just got a phone call. I got to drop out and come back in.
Some of these
he couldn't take
Can't
the
hear
heat.
nobody.
He couldn't take
But
the heat.
you get what I'm saying, caller? Like if you don't have a quarterback and all the quarterbacks in the whole league are taken, you don't have one starting quarterback.
Yeah, but he's got Adam wants to give him Jimmy G, bro.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
can I just say
But-
something real
but
Hey,
you
the
want
Florida
a golden,
State quarterback got hurt.
but it's like you're the one who
Yeah, but Florida State beating 31-10 though.
You know what I mean? Like when you're the guy who
they beat
needs
in Boston
something,
College.
Right.
you can't
But-
expect to get the win of the trade. Like you got.
No, but I understand. But he's got another guy wanting to give him Jimmy G.
Yeah,
which is fine. I'm
offering-
cool with that.
Crypto, what do you want for Goff?
If somebody's giving me Jimmy G, it's an obvious no-brainer because the Bills' pass defense is pretty much atrocious. So, and then I'm sure Jimmy G is going to light them up.
Crypto,
Especially with that.
Crypto. I got a timestamp for that. You
I
said
mean,
Jimmy
maybe
G's
if
gonna
you
light
gave
somebody
him
up.
Zach Wilson and Bryce Young, he might be talking to you. You
You
know?
think Jimmy G is gonna light somebody up, Crypto?
Yeah, he's going to light up
to than
freaking the
Zach
Bills
Wilson.
like he used to.
Jimmy G.
He's going to do what he always did to the Bills franchise.
Jimmy G is a better quarterback than what you think.
He's going to do what he always did to the Bills franchise throughout his whole career. What are you talking about?
Jimmy G is not a 300-yard passer. I'm sorry. That's
Yes,
not his
he is.
game. It's not his game.
Neither. Well, okay. So what about Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson's definitely no 300-yard passer either.
I'm canceling the trade.
You gotta come to grips that Jimmy G. You gotta come to grips that Jimmy G is 1,000 times better than freaking Zach Wilson. Come on, get real. No matter how much you hate the man personally.
I'm better than Zach Wilson. I'm better than everything the Jets have.
I'm backing out of
I'm
the
better
trade.
than everything the Jets have. I'm never going to give anybody credit on the
and you
Jets.
need a quarterback, and I got 3 sitting on my bench. Do not offer me a trade. I'm holding these quarterbacks for anybody else. Crypto's not getting a single quarterback on my team.
Now you got Roach
Sounds
out.
like
Now you got Roach pissed off.
sounds like a guy that's playing Crypto this week in the matchup. That's great.
Roach is sounding like Jim Irsay.
He
sounded like Jim Irsay of the Indianapolis Colts.
I feel like I'm bringing bread to the table, and he's just throwing it in the trash.
No, Adam's just bringing more bread.
That's fine.
Right.
You didn't want Jimmy G either, though.
Well, I told you
do.
all that from the beginning.
He's a better option.
Crypto will sit here and argue for Jimmy G, and then turn around and tell Adam no.
No, I won't tell him no. I'm really considering it because if he wants a guy that I don't think Zach is going to deliver him the ball as much, I don't know. It might be.
No. What I'm saying is you'll argue in favor of Jimmy G and then not take either.
And here's the thing you got to worry about, Crypto.
Yeah. I got you.
There's another team that needs a quarterback also, Crypto. So you're going to have some competition in these negotiations. Ali's going to be on the phone with these same teams looking to make a deal. And once they make a deal, they're only going to make a deal once. So you have competition, Crypto.
Yeah.
Ali needs a quarterback too.
Hey, now you want
I'm
him?
just looking at the matchups this week.
Now, if you want to trade with me, Crypto, it's going to cost you #1 wide receiver and #1 running back. That's where I'm at now.
Well, I don't need a quarterback that desperately. I can go the whole season without him.
Roach became Jim Irsay.
Hey, Roach, this is the quarterback that you're trying to offer Crypto right here.
Which one? I offered him like 2. I offered him 2 quarterbacks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey.
Yo, this is hilarious. Yo, I'm
And
calling
CeeDee
it.
Lamb will score 6 touchdowns then. That'll make up the difference.
TFTG fantasy hot take for the TFTG fantasy league
goodness.
this week. Baker Mayfield goes down in the first quarter. Kyle Trask comes in and throws for like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, I'll admit to one thing. I only picked up Zach Wilson just for trade fodder. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I picked him up off the waiver. But
Hey,
Crypto,
it's
you
Dolphin.
could have picked him up on waiver.
I mean, I could give you a bench player for Zach Wilson.
That ain't gonna happen.
I can give you one of those defenders that's sitting on the sideline.
Nope.
It's about an even trade for Zach Wilson.
It's not about being even, Crypto. I got a seat at the table at quarterback position. 3 of them. You got 0. So you got to pay up to get at the seat.
Yeah, you got 3 at the table, which means you can give away one of them just like my defenders you want.
This is going to be the toughest negotiation of all time.
I was trying to give you a defender just to get rid of Snead for you, just to help you out a little bit.
Crypto, what are you willing to give up for Goff?
Kahari, if these two come to some kind of agreement, then we got hope for Jonathan Taylor, man.
Hey guys, I would suggest that we're gonna have to table this conversation, or you guys continue this.
We'll shut it down.
I still love Crypto.
Hey,
I still love
by
Crypto.
the way, Crypto. Hey, Crypto, so you know, man, look at this.
Wait, who you
Okay.
Come on.
Road Warriors.
The Road Warriors. There you go. The Road Warriors. The ultimate tag team. That tag
All right,
team
y'all.
there was
I'm bouncing. Gotta go get some wings.
All right, Roach.
right,
Hey,
all right.
keep pounding away, Roach.
all right, Roach.
You'll be
All right,
successful.
Roach.
Roach. I don't
All
know
right,
who I'm
later,
going
guys.
up against
Hey,
this week,
Roach,
but
let us know when
they're
you do
going
your
down.
shows again, bro.
I will.
Hey, Miss Fitz. Happy birthday, Miss Fitz.
Thank
So,
you, KP. Thank you.
so what are y'all? Go ahead. What are the parting words before we go wrap this up? Happy
I was just
birthday
gonna
to
say
me.
to Miss Fitz, I was gonna say happy birthday, but man, I'm sorry you couldn't get a better birthday present. If you look at your team's projections, you've fallen a whole long way, Miss Fitz.
I know, but you know what? It happens, and I'm here to, pivot, make some change, like Coach
Uh-huh.
McDaniel. And this week it should be good. I'm focusing on a win. I expect my team to win, and I'm looking forward to getting up there in the charts. I'm not worried about it.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, now you heard it first. Miss Fitz is on
Yes.
the comeback trail.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Who am I playing? Hold up. Who am I playing? 'Cause
She's gone to
You're playing.
Jamaica. And she's
You're
waiting
playing
to
I don't know
Andres.
who
exhale.
I'm
You're playing Andres Negron.
Can
Yeah.
somebody look at
Andres.
Am I actually playing Roach?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you really are
Okay.
playing Roach, though. Yeah, Andres is going down.
That's why he's trying to take my running backs away from me.
Yep.
Andres is going. I will say this: I made a mistake by benching
Bill
Kirk
Belichick.
Cousins for Brock Purdy. I'm hoping
Yeah.
Brock Purdy goes off versus the Rams because Kirk definitely came back and put up points. So
Yeah, he
that
did.
I'm hoping that will help me. But I mean, I have a decent team with Najee, Pacheco, Chase, Cooper, Knox, Williams, Minka. Now I gotta change. I gotta take out Phillips and put someone else in, but I'll figure that out. I got the Steelers defense and Josh Myers, so I think I got a solid team versus Negron, and I look forward to this win. He's got Anthony Richardson, and I got Brock Purdy. So in Birdie, I trust. That's for
There
sure.
it is. There it is. Not a bad gamble. We talked about that earlier, actually. And yeah, I'm very confident in Purdy so far based on his week one showing. So, like I said, at the time, it wasn't a bad gamble. In hindsight, you didn't know Cousins was going to perform the way he did.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Mhm.
It's still early. It's still early. You can't, we're still data collecting at this point.
Exactly, but I think Purdy with the team, and I think that he's gonna be able to have opportunities, especially with CMC, and now Brandon Ayuk, who's looking like wide receiver one. I'm loving it because that's what I thought would happen.
Well, Ali needs a quarterback, and he also has Ayuk.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he needs one. Hey, Miss Vance, you give me your starting quarterback, and I'll give you one of my bench guys.
I don't think your bench can. I don't think your bench is. It's a bench I want to be rating right now.
Crypto's a trip, man. Crypto's like, give me your gold, and I'll give you the leaf clippings off of my tree. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
No, for real. For real. Truck first.
Crypto is like, well, there's gold leaf.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Got the
think
gold
I
leaf.
had a pretty good draft. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I think that right
Yeah.
now I'm not a believer in trades. I never have been.
Right.
Like I don't believe in trades, to be honest with you.
Hello.
I think you should play the team that you draft. However, I do believe in the waiver wire. So
Yeah.
the waiver wire, I do believe in that.
Me too.
Picking up guys, making your changes and things like that based on the teams that you have and the players that are available. Trades, I just for some reason I'm like, it just doesn't sit
Yeah.
right with me. I feel like you should, you made your picks with the guys that were available at the time, and then make the picks based on the guys that are left. 20 team fantasy is tough. You're scrambling through
It is tough for
thin
20 teams.
margins, but at the end of the day, you got what you got, and
I
to
hear you.
me,
I hear
I,
you.
I just personally I don't believe in trades, but if it's the right trade and I feel like it's gonna be beneficial, then I guess I'm always open to listening to a trade option. Definitely
Miss
not from crypto though.
Spins is like, you watch the tape, you make the corrections, you move on to next week.
Hold on, real quick, Liz wanted us. What's up, Liz?
Hey, Liz, what's up, Liz?
I heard you speak. So what's up?
Salutations,
You have something on your mind? Damn. Okay.
How you doing, Liz?
I think she's having an issue with with
StreamYard.
her internet. That's all.
All right. So anyway, well, let's wrap this up. All right, man. KP, any final want me to hit? Let me know when to hit the trigger.
Sure. Yeah. Now, does anybody have any final thoughts? Any last minute comments, questions?
Yep, I do.
Ideas?
Negron, you're going down, sir. I hope you're watching this.
You heard it, Andres. You heard it, Andres. Miss Fitz is coming for that ass.
Absolutely.
Before she was focused on Adam Gassexi's buns, but now she's coming for your buns, Andres Negron. She wants your buns.
Exactly.
The only thing I gotta say for a final thought is, you watch the film, you make the corrections, and on to New England.
Yep.
Exactly. On to
Speaking of New England, I got a long 24 hours ahead of me. So wish me well on my drive.
If you don't make the deal today, Crypto, I think any deal you make is going to count for week 3. So if you're going to make a deal, you probably want to move quickly.
Last day, right?
Yeah, to get it.
It has to get locked in for. They gonna let you lock it in before the game.
Yeah,
It has to be done the day before the game.
Yeah. If you want it for tomorrow, if you want it for this week, so you got a lot to think about, Crypto. And again, you need to factor in Ali. Ali needs a quarterback too, so you're not the only one in that market.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's true.
All right. Well, did we get Liz? I know Liz was waiting to get something in. What happened to her? She dropped off?
No, she dropped off.
Oh, sorry about that, Liz. Please come back again next week. Or drop us a line. You can hit me up on Twitter, Dolphins 62121. And then we can deal with it there, okay?
Great show, fellas. Great show,
man.
ladies and gentlemen.
Great show, KP.
Great show,
Thanks,
KP.
Hey,
Go ahead, do your promo, KP.
No. I was just gonna say, every Saturday, 11 a.m. fantasy football forecast with KP and the whole TFTG gang. That's all. Peace out.
All right, hands up.